Hello and welcome back to the water. My name is Beast. Today we're back with Clockwork Ley-Line. I should probably sit up properly. Anyways, last time Tsubaki route. Now Ushio route. I will just immediately call this Ushio route from here on, since I have no reason to do the bad or normal ending, really. Like, if enough people want it, I guess I could at some point do them, but, just view it as motivation to get the game yourself and support the developers, I guess. Anyways, so there's no need for that. While our opponent is a mist, it's still just a doll. It shouldn't be all that dangerous. I feel terrible for making a girl stay up all night keeping guard, too.
でも、このような事態を招いたのは私のせいなのだから。
It's not your fault, though.
私が古賀君の名前を出さなければ、いや、ひいてはアンディ・シェブロに目を入れなければ。
That's true. She's huddled up and being so apologetic that it makes me want to pity her. Feel bad if I rejected her offer. All right, I'll be counting on you then.
ありがとう。風紀委員会の会議を抜け出してきたので、これから戻る。
Yeah.
では。
なんだか大変なことになっちゃったね。ところで相談なんだけど。
システムメニューです。
Anyways, it is set to only skip red text, so
スキップモードを開始します。
it is all red text for me. So sorry for intruding, she says.
お邪魔します。
No worries, come on in. Muko and Omoro just finished setting up the video camera a few minutes ago.
スキップモードを開始します。
Seems like Tsubaki went back to her own room during that time.
獅子ヶ谷さんたちはまだ人形を捜索しているのだろうか。
Nah, they should be monitoring our room through the surveillance camera. However, Muko told me to keep that a secret from her. She'll probably see through my live if I try to do that, so I'll change the topic for now. Anyway, take a seat. You want some coffee?
いや、お気遣いなく。
That was kind of very fucking obvious. Still, there's a lot of time until morning.
では、いただきます。
She nods, but then suddenly stops moving as if she realized something.
朝までスキップモードを開始します。
Wasn't that obvious?
そうだったのか。
Seems flustered.
そうだ。朝まで二人きりということか。なんということだ。
Huh? You never realized?
すまない。私はこの件でどう責任を取るか頭がいっぱいで。友人と一晩二人きりなんて初めてのことでどうしたらよいのか。お土産を持ってくるべきだった。
Her face turns red and she's getting agitated. She's thinking way too hard about this. You don't have to get so worked up.
ミー君はこういうのは平気なのか。
She actually asks me about it. Starting to get embarrassed. It's a necessary step towards our final goal, so it's nothing major.
手段
In order to capture the mist.
ああ、そうだったな。あのミストを捕まえないと。
Yeah, so sit down and relax. Here, your coffee.
ありがとう。
Silence. The atmosphere is extremely awkward. What exactly are we supposed to do now? By the way, how's Sumi-chan doing?
今夜は戻らないという話はして、お休みの挨拶はしてきた。棚に戻してきたので、今頃はもう寝てると思う。
I see. Despite talking throughout the night, the awkward atmosphere still lingered until morning. And so the next day after school.
君は先ほどからあくびばかりですね。
だって昨日は結局徹夜だったじゃないですか。
You look pretty sleepy yourself, Muko.
生理現象です。
なんとか授業は乗り切ったが、今はさすがに眠い。
In the end, the mist never came to me last night. Tsubaki and I spent the night in my room, while Omaru and Muko stayed up pretty much the entire time monitoring us through a surveillance camera from another room. All of us are feeling pretty gloomy at the moment.
それにしてもどうして現れなかったんだろ
う。ミストにとって昨夜は何か都合が悪かったのでしょうね。
Meaning that maybe Okay, here. It didn't know where my room is here, apparently. Didn't know where my room is.
盲点でした。ありえますね。
So we seem to know what was going on, but I wonder how smart the mist is. Well, if it were smart, it's definitely possible that it couldn't
そ
find
れで
me.
はミストはまだ古賀君を探している最中と？
その可能性はあります。
名前しか知らないもんね。
Now what is what everyone is thinking?
すまない。そろそろ見回りの時間だ。
Alright, it's already that time for that.
何も役に立たず申し訳ない。
この後、特査分室でまた方法を考えてみます。ミブさんの力が必要な時は声をかけますから。
そうしてくれ。では失礼する。
So, what should we do?
提案があります。相手はやはり人形ですから、鍵がついた寮の個室にでは襲いにくいのかもしれません。
You're locking him in. That makes sense. So there's that. I just have to be the decoy.
よくお分かりで。
確かにそれは確実だろうけど。
では、話は決まりですね。
Damn, there's shutters all over the place. School's on fucking lockdown. Damn, she wasn't lying when she told me to be a decoy. Putting me out in the open like this makes it easier for the mist to find me too. However...
ねえミッチ、痛くない？
No, but...
ごめんね。まさかミッチーを椅子に縛り付けることになるなんて。
Why did you have to tie him to a chair? That's fine, we're out of options
よ
anyway.
しと、あまりきつくはしてないからね。牛尾さん、指示通りやったよ。
ご苦労様です。
Still, is this a bit too blatant? We're in a hallway. I'm tied to a chair in the middle of it. I'm literally a decoy. Now, bait would probably be a better word.
では私はあちらの教室にいればいいのね。
It's rare seeing Yurito outside the library.
お願いします。
She leaves us and enters a classroom 3 doors down. The emergency shutter behind me is closed. In other words, I'm at a dead end.
私とカラスマくんはこちらの教室で待機しています。
Got
行
it.
きましょう、カラスマくん。
ミッチ、頑張って。
Omaru and Muko entered the first door on my right. With everyone else gone, the hallway is silent. How am I gonna explain myself if someone sees me like this? I'm tied to a chair in the middle of a hallway. I'd easily pass as a pervert.
よいしょっと。罠の方は大丈夫みたい。
わかりました。
ちょっと戸を開けておいた方がいいかな。窓シャッター閉めちゃったし。
そうですね。廊下の様子を見るのに必要でしょう。
このくらいでいいか。ああ、ミッチー改めて見ると間抜けな格好だな。でもあれ露骨すぎないかな。いかにもおとりって感じというか。
アンリセブロそのものの知能はそこまで高くない。幼児並みと言った方がいいかしら。ちなみにアンリセブロに作られたお友達もミストと同じくらいの知能レベルみたいね。
とリトさんは言っていましたので。では作戦の手順を確認しておきましょう。あそこにこれ見よがしに餌を用意しましたので。
餌って。
運が良ければアンリシェブルが心を取るためにやってくることでしょう。
人形が来たら リトさんに非常扉を閉めてもらうんだよね。
はい、彼女には自分でタイミングを見て閉めるようにお願いしているので、特に合図などはいりません。
了解しました。
教室の廊下側の窓は学園長に頼んでシャッターを閉めてもらいました。これで人形を袋小路に追い詰めたことになります。
あとは現れたミストの本体を捕まえて封印と。
はい、アンリ・シェブロのみでしたらそのように行動してください。ただしアンリ・シェブロが作ったお友達を引き連れてきた場合、一網打尽にするために用意したのがこの罠です。
廊下に網張って見えないように暗幕を上からかぶせただけだけど、大丈夫かな。
知能が高くないという情報にかけます。
わかりました。とりあえず人形が。
はい、網はお友達をすくって天井まで上がるようになっています。
俺たちはどれがミストの人形かわからないもんね。
捕まえてからゆっくり目的の人形を探して封印すればよいでしょう。
捕まえた後ならミブ先輩に確認してもらったら。
そうですね、捕まえた後ならいいでしょう。今まではミストに情報が伝わらないようにミブさんに内緒でことを進めてきましたが。
Isn't it proven though that if the mist doesn't know where his room is, the mist can't draw information from Mibu since Mibu knows where his room is? So realistically, that would mean that the mist also knows?
捕獲した時は協力してもらうかもしれません。
それにしてもこの網結構大きいから引っ張るのに力いりそう。
私たち2人で頑張るしかないですね。
リトさんの話ではお友達は10体ぐらいじゃないかって話だから、この網はでかすぎないかな。
通例ではそうだということですが、万が一ということもあるので大きめのものを用意しました。もう少し人手があると助かるのですが、すでに下校時間、風紀委員にはミブさんに情報が漏れると問題なので援助は頼めず、若干不安ですがこの人数でやるしかないでしょう。
でも学園長も数時間でこんなものを用意してくれるなんてすごいね。
学園長ですから。
うまく捕まえられるといいな。頑張らないと。みーくん
廊下から
一体どうしたんだ。こんなところに縛り付けられて。
いけない、作戦の邪魔になってしまう。
どうしてこんなことに。ミストに襲われたのか。
No. Of all the people who could have found me, the only people who would be in the building at this time would be disciplinary committee
今
members.
すぐほどく。待ってくれ。
No, Tsubaki, this is, I'm about to explain the situation to her. I remember. We've kept this whole plan a secret from the disciplinary committee so that Tsubaki wouldn't find out about it.
意外と緩かったな。ほどけたぞ。
That is not working while keeping it a secret from her. Thanks. I get up from the chair for now and see Muko peeking out from the classroom. I want to not make a sound. She mouths what she wants to say. Continue with the plan. I see.
何がだ。
Oh, nothing. Muko quickly retreated into the classroom, so Tsubaki shouldn't have
一
noticed it.
体誰にこんなことをされたんだ。場合によっては風紀委員会で取り上げるべき議題だ。
Well, how do I dodge this bullet? I have to make sure the mist doesn't find out about this through her. All comes down to my acting ability. My foot fell asleep. Crashed down into a ball. It's pretty forced in my opinion,
どう
but
した。大丈夫か。
he starts worrying about my well-being. This pains my heart to see. I'll be fine once I rest a bit.
そうか。
Tsubaki is flustered. Great, so I've managed to change the topic. Now what? So I'm thinking about how to proceed. Tsubaki suddenly turns around. Her eyes are directed down the hallway. Wondering what's caught her attention, I also notice.
あれは。
Our line of sights are naturally drawn downwards. Some small objects are creeping closer towards us. Dolls.
あれがミストが生み出したものか。
That's a few more than 10. Oh. Straps meant to be hung off bags, a large teddy bear, traditional Japanese dolls. The list goes on and on. If you just look at them, you'd think they were cute. Except they're moving. And in a massive group. It's quite disturbing. But it's all according to plan. Muko and Omaru are probably nervous as they wait in the classroom. Why the hell are there so many?
みーくん、確か図書館で話を聞いたときは10体くらいではという話だったが。
Yeah. There's clearly way more than that. You just said that there would be around 10 of those friends. There are many more than that in the crowd. Individually, they're not all that big, so it's hard to count. But I'd say there's easily more than 100 of them.
椿ちゃん、お友達を連れてきました。
You hear a voice from the middle of the crowd. Takes the creepiness of it all to a whole new level.
椿ちゃんが言っていたお友達は見つけられなかったのですが、だけどこれだけいれば寂しくはないですよね。椿ちゃん、会いたかった。私、あなたのお友達よ。椿ちゃん。
They slowly approach us while calling out to her.
来ちゃったよ、牛尾さん。しかも何あれ、あの数。あ、リトさんが非常扉を閉めてくれてます。
罠を動かしましょう。全部まとめて捕獲します。
この紐をよいしょ。じゃあ行きますよ。せーの。
想像以上に人形の数が多いからですね。
多すぎて網から落ちちゃってるのもいる。
I'm gonna take a screenshot here just to be safe because for some reason last part the fucking CG menu was
とに
being
か
a
く
bit
か
fucky.
かった分だけでも捕獲します。
なんだこの網は。
We set it up and wait, you didn't notice it earlier?
いや、みーくんのことで頭がいっぱい
Tsubaki, the mist should be among them somewhere. Could you look for it?
で。なるほど、アンティークドールのような年代物の人形なんだ。
Antique doll. Antique looking. Huh. I'll help look.
なんとか上まで上げたよ。手がしびれる。
この紐何かで固定しなくては。
どうするの？机にでも結ぶとか？
そうですね。しかし私が手を離してしまっては。ガラス膜。
うわ人形が
ガラス膜、落ち着いて。
あなたたちがみんなを捕まえたの？話しなさいよ。私たちはみんなお友達。返して。お友達を返しなさい。
来ないで。怖い。
ガラス膜、落ち着いてください。これはもともと生徒の持ち物です。怖がることなどありません。
違う、俺こういう黒目の人形ダメなんだ。
返しなさい。お友達。返して。返して。返して。
ミッチ、早くして。怖い。
What was that?
早く本体見つけて。
I'm doing the best I can. You're a man, aren't you? Act like one.
わかった。俺は男だ。頑張る。
ガラス膜、この人形たちには大した腕力はありません。なんとか耐えてください。
ねえ、返して。
ズボン引っ張らないで。やめてください。無理です。
返しなさいよ。
ちょ。
危ない。
え？
いけない。紐が重い。一人じゃ無理。
Muko! Her voice has the unusual tone of someone being driven into a corner. This can't be good. That's what my guts is telling me, and I rush over to where she is. Something definitely going on if she's asking others, me especially, for help. Are you okay? Muko, while trying to hold on to the rope with all her might, stumbles while I pull the rope towards me. The fucking rabbit's beating the shit out of him in the background. She looks up at me, bewildered. Why is she so surprised? She was the one who called for me. Is this the time for you to be spacing out?
わかっています。
Hey, Omaru, what the hell are you doing?
ごめん。
紐が。
It's alright, Muko, I'll pull it with you.
友達、返して。
I guess this is Ready, go! That's as far as it'll
これ
go.
で網にかかっている人形は動けないと思います。
I'll take care of this. You go to where Tsubaki is. She's looking for the mist right now.
ですが私が手を
I'll be fine. Don't underestimate my strength. Don't worry. Now get going.
わかりました。
どこだあの人形は。
椿ちゃん、
見つけた。
どうしてそんなに怖い顔をしているのですか？お友達をたくさん連れてきたのに。
逃げるな。
この先に行けない。
なるほど。さっき非常扉が閉まったのは閉じ込め。
椿ちゃん、邪魔しないで。私たちの邪魔しないで。
いい加減に離れてください。イブさん、
獅子ヶ谷さん、本体を見つけた。
封印します。協力してください。この札を受け取ってください。
わかった。君がいつもやっているように。
そうです。
椿ちゃん、やめてください。
もう終わりだ。諦めろ。
そんなことをすればお友達はいなくなります。みんなです。みんな椿ちゃんのお友達がいなくなってしまうのですよ。おかえりなさい、姫ちゃん。
うわそうか。すみちゃんがいてくれたんだったな。
そうよ。これからはずっとすみちゃんがお出迎えよ。
ずっと。
そうよ。ダメ？
まさか。嬉しいよ、すみちゃん。
よかったー。私も嬉しい。ずっと仲良くしましょうね、姫ちゃん。
私だってずっと仲良く。
ミブさん、ミブさん、早く貼り付けてください。
邪魔しないで。
獅子ヶ谷さん。
椿ちゃん、一緒にいよう。椿ちゃん、私たちがお友達よ。椿ちゃん、そんなものは捨てて。そうです。ずっと仲良く。
ミブさん、耳を貸してはいけません。
ずっとです。みんなでずーっと一緒にいてあげますよ。いてあげる。
私は
Going out into the hallway, the first thing I see is Tsubaki standing motionless, surrounded by dolls. I say to her, you already have friends, don't you?
メイク、
Helping Muko up from the dolls clinging to her, I call out to
捕獲、
Tsubaki.
罠は
I tied the end of the rope to a desk which Omaru is holding still, so it should stay.
友達ならそうだった。すまない。私は君のことを忘れるなんてどうかしていた。ミストは封印する。ダメです。
みんな、椿ちゃんを止めてください。花札を取り上げて。
As the mist's command, probably at the mist's command, the bustling dolls near Muko and me move to surround Tsubaki. Damn, will she make it in time? Tsubaki's bag flies through the hallway. Sumi, who is normally supposed to be in Tsubaki's room, suddenly pops out from
そうよ、
it.
姫ちゃん。ミストは封印するの。姫ちゃんはいつだって本当の友達を作れるのよ。
スミちゃん。
さあ、動かないで。動けないよ。どうして私の力が届かない。
他の人形たちが一斉に止まった。
姫ちゃん、今のうちよ。早く封印を。
スミちゃん。私は
分かってる。大丈夫だから。
分かった。
やめてください。そんなことをしたらみんないなくなってしまいます。それでいいのよ。姫ちゃんには偽物の友達なんて必要ない。
これで
I watch as Tsubaki plays the talisman on the mist, and Muko begins reciting the usual incantation.
獅子型に牛尾が我が血と言霊とともに古き名役の札にて命じる。時を
Can we please get this fucking doll off the screen? The mist flops down lifelessly. At the same time, all of the dolls surrounding us fall, one after the other. The dolls...
成功したの。教室にいた人形が止まったよ。
おまる
成功。ええ、封印完了です。
ツバキ。
スミちゃん。
姫ちゃん。
Tsubaki runs up to Sumi, who's lying on the
スミちゃん、大
floor.
丈夫か、スミちゃん。
She carefully lifts up the doll.
大丈夫よ。大丈夫。
スミちゃん。
Despite her saying that, Sumi isn't moving energetically like she used to. All she's able to do is feebly move her round hand towards Tsubaki's face.
ありがとう、スミちゃん。でも、どうしてだってスミちゃんはどうして自分も消えてしまうのに助けてくれたんだ。
そんなの当たり前じゃない。だって私は姫ちゃんのお友達。
スミちゃん。
お友達を助けるのは当たり前のこと。そうでしょ？
うん、そうだ。助かったよ、本当に。私はずっとスミちゃんに助けられてばかりだな。
でもね、これが最後よ。
スミちゃん。
ごめんね。もう行かなきゃ。
スミちゃん。
姫ちゃん、大丈夫よ。勇気を出せばもっともっとお友達ができるわ。
スミちゃん。
だから泣かないでね。勇気を出して。
うん、スミちゃん、わかった。すまない。最後まで心配ばかりかけてるな。寂しいけど、私はもっと勇気を出せる。
知ってるわ。さっきも勇気出してくれたものね。でもね、本当は札を貼るのを一瞬だけためらってくれたこと、私のことを気にしてくれたこと、嬉しかった。
スミちゃん。
ありがとう、姫ちゃん。楽しかった。本当に姫ちゃん会えてよかった。
私も楽しかったよ、スミちゃん。
大好きよ、ずっと。
スミちゃん、大好きだよ。ずっと友達だ。スミちゃん、聞こえるか？私もだよ。楽しかった。スミちゃん。スミちゃん、ありがとう。スミちゃん。
Sumi has already stopped responding. In spite of that, Tsubaki continues to whisper her gratitude to her. Sumi is no longer moving. Tsubaki fondly caresses the doll. Are you crying too?
だって
It's not like I don't understand how you feel.
月
Muko mutters something from behind as I turn around to face her. Her eyes suddenly meet. She hastily averts her gaze and looks down. What's up with her? Omaru, you're crying way too much.
だって
Still holding on to Sue, Mitsubaki stands up. She wipes the corners of her eyes with her finger. Are you all cried out now?
ああ、すまない。この子たちも持ち主に返さなければな。
He was referring to all the dolls and figures laying on the floor, caught in the net. You'll have to collect all of
で
them.
も、すみちゃんは連れて帰ってもいいかな。
I don't see why not.
いいのか、そんなあっさり。封印しなければまずいとか、そういうことは。
We've already sealed the source of it all, so it should be fine.
まあそうですね。
そうか。ならすみちゃんはこの後も私の部屋に置いておくよ。
Yeah, I'm sure she'd want that
そ
too.
の人形だけはミストの指示に従わなかったですね。
それはスミちゃんがミブ先輩の本当の友達だからだよ。いやらしだ。
I'm telling you, you need to stop crying already.
私のせいかな。すまない。
本体を封じた時、他のお友達は即座に動かなくなったのに、スミちゃんだけはしばらくの間喋れていたのが不可解です。
I'm amazed at how composed you are, Muko. She's not one to let emotions get the better of her, I suppose. When she was in trouble earlier, she did seem to be acting a little differently, but now she's back to
で
normal.
も確かにすみちゃん以外の人形たちはすぐ動かなくなっていた。
スミちゃんだけ特別だった。あるいは
The rest of the friends went back to being regular inanimate objects. Maybe Sumi was completely unrelated to the mist.
どういうこと？
アンリシェブルの作ったお友達ではなかったと言いたいのでしょ？
Yeah, that's what I think. From the start, she seemed different from the rest of the dolls. I've talked to her lots of times, and there are inconsistencies with regards to how she and the mist
連
operated.
動してないとは？
Like how she slept during the night.
確かにすみちゃんはそうだったが、
There was a night when the mist came to your room, right? She blushed slightly, probably recalling the incident we had then.
そういうこともあったが、
Sumi was asleep then, wasn't she? Even though the mist was still moving around. I just thought it didn't match up. Besides, he's lectured me before and he seemed pretty human from what I could tell. That's what set her apart from the rest of them.
そうですね。先ほどのミブさんとのやりとりを見ていると、高い知能と確固たる意志があるように思えました。
See? You hear the sound of scraping metal. Turns out to be the emergency shutters being opened. Rita makes an appearance.
どうやら終わったようね。お疲れ様。
ご協力ありがとうございました。
どういたしまして。
She gave us a big smile.
リトさん、一つ質問よろしいですか？
何かしら。
Muko gave a quick rundown of what happened to
こ
Sumi.
れらを踏まえて、スミちゃんはアンリシェブルとは無関係ではないかと思うのですが、どう判断しますか？
少なくともアンリセブロの作ったお友達でないことは確かね。
How can you be so sure? Is it because she had a will of her own?
違うわ。もっと単純なことよ。その人形はミブツバキの持ち物でしょ。お友達は心を抜かれた人間の持ち物から作られる。そして機動者であるミブツバキから心が抜かれることは絶対にないわ。だからミブツバキの持ち物であるスミちゃんがアンリセブロの作ったお友達というのは。
What? Kotaro and I exchanged
な
glances.
んでそれを先に言ってくれなかったの？
聞かれなかったからよ。
確かに。
A slight look of vexation appears on Muko's face. Well, it is true that it never occurred to any of us to ask.
あのミストとは関係がなかった。
Tsubaki looks at Sumi, who is now nothing more than an ordinary doll.
そうなのか？
アンリ・シェブロの作ったお友達の数は想定以上のものでした。そこから考えるに、おそらくミブさんの潜在魔力は常人をはるかに超えていると考えられます。どうですか？
ええ、その通りよ。
となると、考えられるのは、スミちゃんはミブさん自身がその強力な魔力で、
Is that even
こ
possible?
れだけの魔力の持ち主であれば不可能ではないわね。
ええ、特差分子はそのように見解を示します。
そうか。だとしたらいい経験だった。
Tsubaki gives a faint smile. She may not be able to move anymore, but you just need to keep taking good care of her.
ああ、そうだな。うん。スミちゃんはこれからも私と一緒だ。
Tsubaki turns to faces and gives her thanks.
今回のことではいろいろと世話になった。
Stop with the formalities. We're friends, aren't we?
お
Looks over at Muko and Umaru.
そうですよ。
Muko doesn't say anything, but gives a nod of assent.
ありがとう。ではこれからもよろしく。
Of course we will. Tsubaki smiles in response. We somehow managed to return all the missing items to their owners. It ended up taking a few days due to the sheer number of them.
今日は帰ったら何しようかな。あれ、やだ、この子いつの間にか耳取れそう。ミブ先輩、お疲れ様です。今帰るところですか？
うん。どうした？廊下の真ん中でブツブツ言って。
聞こえちゃいましたか。大したことないんです。このカバンに下げてるマスコットが
猫だな。かわいい。
そうそう、猫です。ずっと下げてたせいか。ほら、
耳が取れそうだ。
はい、それに今気がついて後で直さなきゃなーって。
よかったら私が直そうか。意外かもしれないが、そういう作業は慣れているんだ。もちろん風呂屋町さんがよかったらだが。
本当ですか？ミブ先輩って器用なんですね。
まあそうかな。
ありがとうございます。ぜひお願いします。
ああ、じゃあ道具があるから風紀委員会の部屋に行こう。
よかった。ミブ先輩元気になったね。
Yeah, she's been pretty down for a while after Sumi
元
left.
気になって何よりです。
最近ミブ先輩話しかけやすくなったって評判なんだよ。
Really now? Must be because she's taking Sumi's words to heart. Just before Sumi disappeared, she told Tsubaki to summon up her courage, and that if she did so, she'd make lots of
勇
friends.
気を出してか。いい言葉だね。
人は日々進歩していくものです。
Why don't you try following her example, Muko?
は？意味がわかりません。
You haven't called out to me asking for help that time too.
は？どの時ですか？
When you were holding on to the rope, don't you remember?
助けてとは一言も言ってません。
Really now?
断じて発言していません。勝手に記憶を捏造されては困ります。
まあこっちは全然進歩してないよ。
今までどこにいたの？ずっと探していたのに。
そばにいたよ。これからももーちゃんのそばにいるよ。
So it's probably supposed to be Moko then. If that is supposed to be Mo-chan.
そんな、全然わからなかった。でも、無事でいてくれてよかった。本当にすごく心配したんだから。
もーちゃん、大丈夫だよ。ほら、いつだってそばにいるから。
ムツキ！夢、こんな夢を見るなんて。あなたは今 いるの月。
To the next episode, Ley-Line. That wasn't a nice sound that my neck just made. That doesn't look good. Who's breathing like that? Oh, Shizuka. Episode 5. My neck. He mutters to himself as he looks out the hallway window. Out in the schoolyard, students are rushing back to the dorms. Yeah, once the bell rings. I've all but gotten used to the coming of the Night Realm, which stupefied me when I first witnessed it. Though it's not like I can just calmly walk outside the scenery, outside as the scenery is being rewritten. I don't know which of us started it, but we slowed a walking pace.
夜ってさ、なんで来るんだろう?
Probably because the earth rotates?
そういう意味じゃなくって
I'm joking. You mean the Night Realm, right? I force a smile as I watch him wave his fists up and down in the air out of annoyance. He's a fun guy to be around.
もうミッチーはそうだよ、夜の世界のこと。
Yeah, that's a good question. Why is it that the school transforms at night and connects to another world? Mists, magic, ghosts, monsters. Anything goes at the school, so I haven't given it much thought.
不思議だよね。牛尾さんに説明されても、俺まだいまいち理解してなくて。
Also, apparently I've made people mad that, I did not have a fitting reaction to the Ermine Overlord in this game. What are Ermine tastes like?
時計塔の鐘の音とともに、学園には魔術でつながれた夜の世界が現れ、校舎と一体化します。夜しか存在しない世界。私たちのいつも見ているこの世界の裏側の世界のようなものだそうです。
That's what you told us when we first experienced it. Don't quite get it. I think completely confused would be a better description.
なんか違う世界なんだなくらいしか。
He tilts his head and puts his fingers to his temples. Not only that, the students are yet another mystery. If the Night Realm is a whole other world, and they have to be summoned here from somewhere, right? But why does that happen, and why do they go to school here? Do they come from the other side of our world?
学校ないのかな、夜の世界がもともとあるところって。
Just build one there. Why go to all the way to transform the school of another
どう
world?
考えてもそっちの方が手間かかりそうだよね。
It'd take a lot of effort to set up the magic and mechanisms and everything. I haven't gotten the foggiest idea of how it actually works, but it does sound like doesn't sound like it's something as simple as pressing a button.
けど古江町さんたちって前に牛尾さんが言ってた通り俺たちと何も変わらないみたいだよね。
Biologically speaking, she said. Yeah, they don't seem particularly out of the ordinary. They definitely don't seem any different. Most be the color of their uniforms. Omura doesn't speak for a few seconds, as if he's also picturing the Night Realm students in his head. Well, so I thought.
窓からは離れとかない？
He suddenly says something completely different. Why?
夜がなだれ込んでくるみたいなの何回見ても体が避けようとしちゃって。
His voice trails off. He probably remembers the scene. He's probably remembering the scene. Ah, yeah, I'm pretty sure that when I first saw it, I thought I'd be swallowed by it.
だろ
You're still not used to it, Omaru. Forces a smile on my face as I say that, and he waves his hand in front of his face.
夜の世界ってのには慣れた。なんかそういうのがあるってことには。けど鐘の鳴った後のあれは何回見てもやっぱりすごいよ。すごいことになってるよ。
I see. So that's why you're trying to hide behind me.
いや別に盾にしようとかそういうんじゃないよ。
You totally are. It's pretty obvious that he's trying to have me be between him and the window. When I relocate myself, he waves his hand in a flurry and shakes his head while stepping
し
back.
てないって。怖いから窓から離れようとしたらなんかそういう位置に。
How don't you stand right in front of it? Maybe it'll help you get accustomed to it. Grab the scuff of his collar and push him
あ
forward.
やめてやめて背中押さないで。
Ever heard of shock therapy? Come on, face the window. He frantically tries to get behind me. I evade and push him right back up to the window. Our fruitless battle continues with us circling around each other, trying to catch the other's glance.
逆にトラウマになったらどうするんだよ。
Letting out a high-pitched voice, he runs away out of my reach and clings to a wall. There's still a bit of time till nightfall, but it looks like he's still scared. Hey, stop running away!
やだって。
As I try to make my way over to him, he's plastered to a wall in the shape of a star, shaking his head all the while. You never get used to it at this
慣れなくて
rate.
もいいよ。鐘が鳴ったら目をつぶってるから。
Were you always as much of a wimp?
いやほら牛尾さんだよ。
Looking at where he's pointing, I see Muko walking towards us by herself. Seems like she's noticed us, but she suddenly turns her back to us. A figure with long hair wearing a coat runs up to her. Ah, is that Tsubaki? She's probably what caught Muko's attention. Muko's. The annoying one's nowhere in sight.
本当だ。村雲先輩がいないね。
This is usually around the time when they're patrolling the school together, but she's by herself for once. Well, if he's not here, then it makes my life all the easier. We head over to the two girls.
ミブ先輩どうかしたんですか。
They turn to faces upon hearing Omaru's voice. That's Tsubaki.
ああ、君たちもいたのか。ちょうどよかった。
何かご用ですか？
うん、用というか、村雲を見なかったか？
Huh?
いないんですか。
もう見回りの時間なのに、集合時間になっても風紀委員室に現れないんだ。
Raising her eyebrows, Muko looks at Tsubaki from the side. Something the matter, Muko?
どうって驚いただけです。姿が見当たらないというのは十分驚くべきことでしょ。
Yeah, I guess. You know, it struck me as someone who was so expressive with her feelings. But there do seem to be some topics that are particularly sensitive for her.
それで村雲先輩を探してるんですか。
ああ、てっきり学園内で何か起きて対応に当たってるのかと思ったんだが。
今のところ何事も起きていないようです。
She looks our way. She's probably asking us if we've noticed anything. Everything seemed pretty ordinary on our end, too.
うん。別に何も。村雲先輩にも会ってないし。
そうでしょうね。村雲くんがどこかで足止めを食っているなら、一番の原因になりそうな人はここにいますし。
What's that supposed to mean? Omaru and Tsubaki look at me after she says that. I have no problems with that, but what's with that look of agreement in their eyes?
古賀くんと揉めているというのが一番ありそうで、なおかつ平和な理由だったのですが。
そうだな。いや、何か事件が起きてるよりはマシという意味だからな。
No, you too, Tsubaki. Averting her gaze and giving an awkward smile, she tries to change the flow of the conversation.
うん、まあ、事件じゃなかったのは幸いだ。
そのようですが、村雲くんがどこへ行ったのか。
ああ、どうしたんだろう。行き違いに風紀委員室に来てるようならいいんだが。
She murmurs that, perplexed. She really doesn't have any idea where he is. Personality aside, doesn't seem like the type to shirk his responsibilities.
もちろんだ。真面目だからな。今まで無断で来なかったことなど一度もないよ。
He may have a foul mouth, but he certainly is
です
diligent.
が、 行き違いならすでにあちらも巡回のために風紀委員室は出ているのでは？
There's also the possibility of him looking for Tsubaki, and they'll only continue to miss each other. What's your patrol
校
route?
舎を回った後は交代に出る。そちらへ行ってみるよ。
You want us to help out?
そうですね。今は特に何も案件はありませんし。
We've had a lot of time on our hands these past few days. She immediately agrees and Omaru nods as well. However, based on her reaction, my intuition's telling me that her purpose for tagging along is different from Omaru and mine.
いや、そこまで深刻な話ではないだろうし。
She sounds grateful yet hesitant. It's fine, we've got nothing better to do.
手分けして探してみる？
そうしましょう。
I'm sure we'll find him in no time if we have all four of us looking.
本当にいいのか？ちょっと行き違っているだけかもしれないのに。
構いません。早急にやらなければならないことは何もありませんから。
Honestly, all I'd say is remember the last time someone went missing and she was in a weird alternate fucking dimension with the key of Giannis? You gotta be careful at this school.
そうか。ありがとう。すまないな、マキ。
いいえ、お気になさらず。風紀委員会には。
Oops, fuck. Should we meet up back here if we don't find him?
ああ。それじゃあ私は校庭に行ってみるから。
We'll split up inside the school then. Quickly decide who will take what route and set off. Head down to the basement, hoping that he went to the bureau for some reason. Descending the stairs, I entered the library. My footsteps echo in the deathly silent room. Despite the ridiculously wide and tall bookshelves blocking my view, the stillness makes me feel like I'm the only one present. It's hard for me to believe that someone as rambunctious and Murakama would be here. Rito, who blends in with the scenery so well, would be a different story. Speaking of which, I'll ask her if she's seen him just in case. Rito, you're around? I'll go over to the bookshelf where she normally is and call out.
呼んだ？
Seemingly out of thin air, she appears from the shadows carrying a book almost as large as she is. When she sees me, she shows a slightly confused expression on her face.
一人なの？
Yeah, we split up to look for Murakumo.
村雲、静か。
Yeah, him, the disciplinary committee guy with the attitude. Has he come here? She slowly shakes her head from left to right.
来てないわ。今日は誰も来てない。
I thought so. Him coming here on his own would be an unusual event in and of itself. Guess I'll go check the bureau office to be on the safe side. It's possible that she might not have noticed him since she's always in the recesses of the library. Thanks, I'll catch you later. Having hand, I escape from the rows of bookshelves and head for the bureau office. Not here, huh? Opening the door and sticking my upper body inside to take a peek. The office is empty as expected. Doesn't look like I can do anything else, so I'll head back to our usual meeting spot.
Ah, Michi!
When I arrive, Omaru happens to return at the same time, coming from the opposite direction. Hey, nothing on my
こっ
end.
ちもだったよ。
Lets out a sigh and slumps his shoulders with a troubled look on his
途
face.
中で風紀の先輩に会ったんだけどさ、やっぱり風紀委員室にも来てないんだって。
Huh. Something's fishy here. Doesn't seem like it's as simple as them having missed each other on the way now.
古賀くん、烏丸くん。
Tsubaki comes running up to us. From the looks of it, she hasn't found him. Judging from your expression, no look on your end.
ああ、古賀くんたちも？
Unfortunately, it was a swing and a miss. Asked Rito too, but she hadn't seen
こ
him.
っちも巡回してる他の風紀委員にも聞いてみたが。
It's unlikely at this point that Murakuma went out to find Tsubaki and they simply missed each other. See, now we're just waiting for Moko.
あ、帰ってきたよ。
Turning around, I see her hastily coming down the stairs. However, Murakumo was nowhere in sight, and she shakes her head in response to our
い
gaze.
ませんでした。
そうか。
Even she's unable to conceal her worry
参
now.
ったな。学園内はほとんど探したと思うんだが、どこへ行ったんだ？
All that's left is the dorms. Maybe he forgot something in his room and went back to get it.
それなら風紀委員室に顔を出して一言言っていくと思うんだ。
That's true. Could he have eaten something bad and gone to the toilet?
男子トイレか？さすがにそれは見てない。というか入れない。
Makes sense. Seeing Tsubaki act flustered, Omaru forms his fist with his hands and says,
俺一応トイレも覗きましたけど閉まってる個室はなかったし、具合悪いなら保健室で休んでるとかかも。
Murakumo doesn't strike me as someone that weak, though. Tsubaki and I exchange glances and she nods as if to agree with what I
確
said.
かに今までには急に倒れたなんてことはないな。でも保健室の中までは見ていなかった。万が一ということもあるし行ってみるよ。
いえ、ご一緒します。保健室にもいなかったら、もう一度手分けして探しましょう。
そうか、すまない。
We've already done this much. It's too late to back out now. That being said, we all set off for the infirmary. Now to think about it, if you were brought to the infirmary, wouldn't the nurse have contacted the disciplinary committee about it?
今戻ったら実は来ているということはあるかもしれないな。
っていうか村雲先輩が担ぎ込まれるって、それ絶対なんかの騒ぎ起きてるよね。
Yeah, Tsubaki trusts Murakumo, so he should be quite well off in the physical strength department. If someone was able to take someone like him out, I can't see it as anything but annoying to deal with.
ここ最近、不調を訴えていたようなこともないのですよね。
ああ、特に何も。
As we turn onto the hallway where the infirmary is, Umaru suddenly lets out a scream. Takes her by surprise, I instinctively stop walking. Tsubaki bumps into me since she was right behind.
なんだ、古賀君。
Murakumo! The person lying face up on the floor is undeniably wearing a disciplinary committee uniform. He doesn't react to my voice, or even so much as flinch. Beside him is someone clad in white. That's a familiar figure. Gently stirs after noticing our presence. It's the ghost that was rumored to appear in the evenings, and it's undoubtedly one of the one Furia and I met in that other world. White figure quickly turns around and dashes down the hallway. She says that as if pleading with it, gives chase. Chase the ghost! Let's go after it! Following right after Muko, I chase after the ghost. Turns around a corner. Huh? Turn around the corner as well. Can't help but stop in our tracks.
そんな。
It's gone. Always completely deserted. There's neither a single shadow nor a door left open. The explanation is that it disappeared into thin air. Can't imagine it being able to sprint down the hallway faster than us turning the corner. It's locked. Just to be safe, I try opening one of the nearby classroom's doors, but it's locked. Something similar happened the last time we pursued it. Tsubaki said that it disappeared after she turned the corner. She also said that there was a chance that she was lying about it and wanted to let it escape. It wasn't a lie. Didn't think she was, but I never expected that I'd end up in the same situation. Oko also seems to be stumped and surveys the area after taking a few steps forward.
むつき。
Huh? She mutters something that sounds like someone's name. She continues to stare down the hallway blankly, not realizing what she said. Who's Mutsuki? She looks up at me with a start, but quickly averts her eyes. Moko, do you know who that person in white is?
いいえ、知りません。
So is Mutsuki then?
聞き間違いでしょう。
Hearing things?
私は何も言っていません。戻りましょう。
Turning it back to me, she heads back to where the others are. Doesn't look like she'll be giving me any answers, no matter what I ask. She's very clearly trying to dodge the questions. the question. I've learned by now that when she gets like this, she definitely won't be doing any explaining. In any case, Murakumo was the big concern at the moment. Shrugging my shoulders, I returned to the hallway outside the infirmary. Right after carrying Murakumo into the infirmary, the nurse returns and we leave him to her.
やっぱり気を失ってるだけのようだよ。
Sparky is both relieved and worried after hearing the nurse's diagnosis. He is not experiencing anything life-threatening, and he doesn't seem to be in any grave danger either. The tense atmosphere relaxes slightly. However, confusion still lingers among us, since we have no clue as to what
無
happened.
事でよかったけど、一体何があったのかな。
わからない。外傷はないそうだし。
Yeah, I didn't notice any injuries on
あ
him.
の幽霊に何かされたのかな。
It's not out of the question. Anyone would be suspicious if they saw a mysterious figure standing beside someone who's collapsed on the floor. All signs point to it being the culprit, but...
それはわかりません。私
True, didn't seem like he was trying to injure Murakumo, at least when we got there. Doesn't mean it's
わ
innocent,
か
though.
っています。
Her voice is as calm as usual, but I get the feeling that she's trying to persuade herself.
君たちが見たのはやはり。
Huh, wasn't it obvious?
ああ、すまない。古学にぶつかっていたせいで私はちゃんと見ていないんだ。
I'm fairly sure it's the one.
うん、同じだったね。
以前も急に消えたそうですね。
ああ、廊下の角を曲がったらもう消えてしまっていた。
Of course, there's no one here who can answer her question. The area falls into silence as we spend the next several seconds racking our brains over the matter. Well, we can just ask Murakumo once he wakes up, I guess. I'm the first to speak. The others nod in assent.
そうだな。みんな、すまないが手を貸してくれ。
She straightens her expression as she thanks the three of us.
あの白い幽霊については風紀委員会で調査しているのだが、これはどうも特殊事案調査分室の案件のように思える。学園長には私から要請を出しておこう。
Some tells me it will mysteriously never make its way to the investigation bureau.
そうですね。ちょうど私もいつになれば特査分室に持ち込まれるのかと思っていたところです。
I would have expected someone as hot-headed as Murakumo to go down without any signs of a
無
fight.
抵抗で意識を奪われたとしか思えない状態だからな。
Not to mention the fact that the ghost was standing right beside him.
幽霊か。
I don't know if it's a ghost for sure, though. Heard footsteps, so we know it has legs at least.
そっか、そうだね。
There's still a chance that it could be something even worse.
何かって何？
古賀くん、いたずらに不安を煽らないでください。
Ah, fine. She stops me earlier than normal. I'm sure she has an idea of the ghost's identity. When I last met it, though, I didn't get the impression of it being someone nasty. It's helped us out too. I'll be sure to wring every last detail out of Murakumo tomorrow. Hope that he'll be able to tell us something useful. He'll mysteriously not know where he was. The morning of the next day passed by uneventfully. It was because Murakumo collapsed after all. The regular students went back to the dorms, but there wasn't any commotion about it. Once class ended, Omaru and I immediately head over to the bureau. No, you're here already, Moko.
こんにちは。
Looks like she's just here. She just got here as well, seeing as how she's putting down her bag and pulling out the chair as we
お
walk
疲れ様
in.
です。
How's Murakumo doing? Is he awake yet? Putting down my own bag as well, I take a seat on the guest sofa. As she watches Omaru and I sit down, she says,
ひとまず意識は戻ったようだと聞いています。
そっか、よかったね。
Now we know that he wasn't put into an eternal slumber because of some rampaging mist.
私もそれを懸念していましたが、目を覚ましたということはひとまず安心と考えていいでしょう。
まだ保健室なの？
私が今朝聞いた時点ではまだそのようでした。
Shall we go visit him
い
then?
え、ミブさんがこちらに来てくださることに。
She stopped mid-sentence by a knock on the door. Speak of the devil?
はーい。
いや、
あ、村雲先輩。
As expected. Looking extremely embarrassed, Murakuma enters the room with Tsubaki. He's always seemed displeased whenever he sees me, but now on top of that, he seems sullen as well. Oh, is it okay for him to be walking around already?
ああ、幸いこの通りだ。昨日はありがとう。
On the opposite side of the spectrum, she replies with a carefree smile. She then looks over at Murakuma as if urging him to do something.
ああ、なんか手間かけたらしいから、一応。
He says that in a subdued voice while averting his gaze, being pressed by Tsubaki. I think he said something else to finish the sentence, but I couldn't quite catch it. At least what?
礼に来てやってんだろうが、ちゃちゃ入れんな。
He didn't seem thankful at all.
お前が口挟むからだろうが。
Apparently he had even more to say than the past part I couldn't hear.
いちいち揉めないでください。
Moko butts in while sighing, having had enough of us.
それより村雲くん、昨日のことを聞かせていただきたいのですが。
He thought that he'd be able to provide some clues, but his expression becomes even grimmer for some reason. Not only does he seem embarrassed, his face looks like it's saying that's some dark topic that he doesn't want to touch. What's wrong? Are you too ashamed to talk about it?
そうじゃねえ。
Suddenly explodes like a bomb that failed to go off when it was supposed to. And what's the matter? He hesitates again as I press the issue. What's up with him? As if seeing question marks flying around above our heads, Tsubaki speaks up in his place.
それが何も覚えていないそうなんだ。
Huh? Nothing at all? She nods, looking confused as well.
全く記憶がないそうだ。そうだな、村雲。
そうです。
The growth on his face continues to grow as he sighs to let off some steam. So he can't remember anything about why you collapsed or even who did it to you. Clicks his tongue and starts talking as if having accepted his position.
倒れてたも何も。俺にしてみりゃ気がついたら3日経ってたんだよ。
3 days?
3日って？目が覚めたら自分の覚えてる日付から3日先に飛んでたんだ。
What the hell?
それでは倒れていた理由どころか、なぜあの場所にいたのかも何もかも記憶にないわけですか。
ねえよ。3日前、普通に寮の自分の部屋で寝たはずなのに、起きたら保健室だった。
That's why he's so confused. That explains why he's so reluctant to talk.
でも、なんだってそんなことに？
わからない。保健の先生も頭を打った様子なんかはないって話なんだ。
So he didn't lose his memory from something like that. After all, he wasn't injured. Maybe it was a
ご
mist.
自分でその記憶がない以外に何か体調の変化などは？
何もねえよ。薄気味悪いけど体はなんともねえし。
He looks the same as always. It doesn't seem like he's trying to hide something from us by pretending that he had lost his memory. Certainly that Sparky's sharper than your average person. He wouldn't be able to get away with lying. Well, that sucks. The possibility of him losing his memory never crossed my mind. But wouldn't hurt to ask anyways. I assume there's just ask every question again, but I'm gonna start with the question that it's telling me to do. When we found you collapsed, there was someone in a white cloak standing beside you.
は？白マントって
It's that ghost that's rumored to wander around at night.
なんだそりゃ。なんで幽霊が俺の横にいるってんだ？
That's what we want to know.
倒れてた時のことは覚えてねえって言ってるだろうが。
Yeah. What else did I want to ask about? Did you pick up anything resembling a mist?
なもん覚えがねえよ。
Were there any unfamiliar antiques in your room?
だったら気づくわ。
Not particularly surprising. What else did I want to ask about? Did you pick up something weird and eat it?
するか。
Wait, even if you did, you wouldn't remember it. Never mind.
そもそも食わねえよ。
さすがにそれはないと思いたいのだが。
食ってませんから。犬じゃねえんだから。
古賀くん、真面目にやってください。
I wasn't joking though.
余計悪いだろ。
Well, that wasn't very helpful.
しょうがねえだろ。覚えてねえもんはね。
His angry tone betrays his frustration.
わかってますから。
As Omaru tries to soothe Murakumo, Muko calmly agrees.
ええ、外傷もなく意識を失い記憶まで消えているということは何らかの魔術的な事件でしょう。村雲くんは被害者です。気に病む必要はありません。
そりゃわかってるけどよ。
Unsatisfied with the state of current affairs, he realizes that nothing's going to change even if he throws a fit and composes himself. I'm sure you're worried, but let's just leave it to us. It's clearly something that falls under the Bureau of Peer Review.
そうだな。原因が魔術的なものなら徳さんに任せるしかない。
What are you two gonna do now?
ひとまず見回りに戻るよ。あの白いやつがまた現れないとも限らないからな。
Murakumo is silent with a meek look on his face. He's probably trying his hardest to remember anything he can. Well, something happened for sure, but to think that he's forgotten everything. I'm sure he's kicking himself right now. Especially since he is admitting defeat.
それじゃあ失礼するよ。
Thanking us again, Tsubaki and Murakumo exit the room. So what do you guys think? Omaru crosses his arms and thinks hard.
記憶がなくなるなんてやっぱりミスト絡み？
それについては昨日リトさんに確認してもらいました。彼にミストが使われた形跡はないとのことです。
So it's not a mist. So to prepare to confront another flying fairy or swarm of dolls again. However, a different expression appears on her face, probably because she was also expecting it to be the work of a
ミ
mist.
スト以外に記憶を消したりする方法ってあるの？
なくはないと思います。ミスト以外に魔術的なことを引き起こす手段がないわけではないですし。
Like those talismans, yeah?
そうですね。もちろんあれは人間に貼っても何の効果もありませんが。
They're for use on mists only?
ねえ、ミストの動きを一時的に止める。他の効果はありません。
Meaning that even if they were used on someone who activated a mist, or someone who's under the influence of a mist, nothing would happen. Thinking back on when we were dealing with the dolls, we captured all of the friends with the net instead of sealing them. Reason being that it would have been pointless to do so.
じゃああれとは別に貼ったら記憶が封印されちゃう札とかあるかもしれないってこと？
And it should have been plastered on his face when we found him.
あ、ずっと貼っとかないと効果ないなら違うね。
札の形をしているとは限らないでしょ？
Yeah, though it didn't look any different from usual when we saw him.
ねえ、痕跡も残さず魔術的な何かを仕掛けたのだとしたら。
She runs her finger along the cover of the book that's on her lap, perhaps unconsciously. To me, it seems like a charm to prevent her own emotions from overflowing. Tricky. Is it the work of that person on white?
そうなのかな。なんか悪い人って感じはしないんだけど。
You looked pretty scared earlier.
幽霊かと思ったからびっくりしただけだよ。
In any case, based on what we saw, I don't think it did anything to Murakumo. All it did was stand beside Murakumo and look down at him. If it attacked him, it'd be weird if he doesn't have any injuries. It's plausible that someone like Umaru could have fallen his head out of shock of seeing it. With Murakumo, though, it sounds more likely for that to happen to the other guy instead. The most confusing part of all this is that Murakumo fainted even though there weren't any signs of a fight.
けどミストでもなくてあの白い人も何もしてなかったら村雲先輩に何が起きたんだろ
う。わかりません。手がかりが少なすぎます。ですがこの件このまま放置しておくわけにはいきません。
You want to search for that ghost?
他にできることってなさそうだもんね。
そうですね。
Muko gives a slight nod, seemingly preoccupied with her thoughts. My gut's telling me that she wants to capture that person in white by herself. Will we be able to find it though? Comes and goes unexpectedly, and when we try to chase it, it'll suddenly vanish. Nevertheless, we decide to make a few rounds.
やっぱり見当たらないね。
The sun set during our fruitless search at the school's been transformed into the realm of night. The courtyard is still and there's not a soul to be seen. It only appears right before night falls.
噂通り、夕方にしか出ないのかな。
なぜでしょう。
Walking a few steps ahead of us, she mutters that as if to herself.
もしも本当に夕方にしか現れないのだとしたら、それには理由があるのでしょうか。
The wind blows. Well, obviously he doesn't want to run into people. Holding down her long fluttering hair, she turns to face Omoto and me. Wouldn't the most obvious answer be that there are very few people then? The day students have all gone back to the dorms, and the school's practically empty until night falls.
人のいない間に出てきて、こっそり何かしてるってこと？
Assuming it's not just wandering around in an outfit for fun.
何かって。
Who knows? It's sneaking around like that because it doesn't want anybody to find out.
学園の生徒とか関係者じゃないから、こそこそしてるとか？
That cloak just makes it stand out even more.
そうか。じゃあ、学園内の誰かなのかな？
Looks up to the school building, towering high amidst the darkness as he says that. Boko does the same and runs her eyes along the vow of lit classrooms.
学園外から来ているのではないなら、昼の学園にいる誰かということになりますね。
Night student arriving early and putting on a white cloak would be impossible, huh? Realize mid-sentence what's wrong with my hypothesis. Nodding, Muko explains.
以前にも言った通り、時計塔の鐘が鳴り、夜の世界が現れる前に夜の生徒が現れることはありません。
So they don't exist in this world to begin with.
私も正確には分かりませんが、おそらくそうなのではないかと。
See, so it has to be someone who's here during the day. Assuming that it's not actually a ghost.
幽霊じゃないだろうって話じゃなかったの？
Stalled by my afterthought, he turns around from looking at the school. Moko asks me a question with a somewhat meek expression on her face.
古賀君は本当にあれが幽霊である可能性があると思っているのですか？
Is there proof that it isn't? Her confident gaze wavers momentarily. However, it truly is just for a moment as she responds in her usual calm and collected tone.
すでにこの世にいない誰かであるという可能性は否定できません。
そうなの？
正体が不明だというだけですよ。あくまで可能性の話です。
What's with her? Always thought that she'd been ignoring all this talk about ghosts. No, maybe she hasn't been ignoring it, but rather trying not to give it too much thought.
そろそろ引き上げましょう。私たちも休まなくては。
He says that as she looks up at the night sky and starts heading back towards the school.
そうだね。どうしたの？ミッチー。
That's nothing. Let's go.
早く戻ろう。明日も調査だろうし。
Yeah. That being said, we have barely any leads so far. The guy in white is our only. It doesn't show itself for a while. Several days pass with no progress being made.
お腹減ったもうマーヤちゃんってば。
Once the lunch bell rings, Kurdani and Maya raises both her hands and yells. Seeing her and laughing, our other classmates leave their seats and exit the classroom in their own little groups. It's so peaceful. There's very clearly something going on at the school, so the passing of these uneventful days is surprisingly stressful. Being forced to experience a truth I don't want to know about.
なーに？小がってばテンション低くない？
She must be thinking that I'm making an otherwise delightful lunch break gloomy. I rush to fix my composure. It's nothing. Ignoring my dad, she continues questioning me.
もしかしてさ、やっぱり何かあったの？
Why do you say that? I'm somewhat shocked, but I managed to not show it on my face and answer with a question of my
ここ
own.
んとこ風紀の人たちがいつもより早く見回り始めてるような気がするんだけど。
Adjusting her glasses with a fingertip, she peers into my face. She hasn't grasped exactly what's going on, but she sure is sharp when it comes to these sorts of things. I have to be careful with what I say to her.
ねえ、何かあったの？幽霊？お化け？妖怪？まあやちゃん、それ全部ほとんど変わんないよ。
Are they for that guy in white to be one of those three? Of course, that's not something I'm gonna say to her. I haven't heard anything about ghosts, but if they're patrolling early, then you guys should go back to the dorms early too. Don't want her poking her nose in this out of idle curiosity. As I casually should suggest that they obediently follow orders, Yoshida takes my word to heart.
そりゃもう帰るよ。すっごい帰る。すぐ帰る。じゃあ、一回くらい見てみたいんだけどな。見たくないよ。私帰るもん。
Please do so. By the way, if you don't get going, the cafeteria is gonna get packed. Trying to cut the conversation short, put it on, it takes the bait.
やばい。そら、急ぐよ。待ってまやちゃん。
Kododani dashes out of the classroom and Yoshida yells out.
古賀くん、じゃあね。
Seiya. What a lively bunch.
ミッチ
Hey, Umaru. Umaru makes his way over to my seat as I watch the two girls fly out of the classroom.
何騒いでたの黒谷さん。
Same as always. Looks like she doesn't know anything about what happened to
そ
Murakumo.
っか。やっぱりまだ一般の生徒には伏せてるんだね。
Even if we tried to explain, we haven't got a clue about the cause. Anyway, we should go grab lunch too. We'll be walking around all day after school. We'll need energy.
そうだね。
Perhaps it's because we've been patrolling the school along with the disciplinary committee, but the guy in white hasn't shown up since, and we haven't heard any more rumors about the ghost. It's really trying to erase all traces of itself.
下校時刻になりました。全校
You know what that says. As expected, we ended up coming to the bureau after scouring the school. No luck today either. Slipping down onto the chair, I stretched myself out as I yawn. I normally never feel exhausted after this amount of exercise, but it's probably because of all the effort. Because of all the efforts have been fruitless so far.
他に何も事件が起きてないのはいいんだけどね。
It'd be a big help. That being said, being stressed despite nothing happening is quite trying as well.
このまま村雲先輩の一件がうやむやになっちゃうってことあると思う？
It's possible we won't, but leave a bitter aftertaste in my mouth. As much as I don't want any more victims, I'm dying to know the truth.
そうだよね。結局何が起きたのかわからないままなんて。
It'd be terrible if we had to end this inconclusively. It'd also be bad if another victim appeared once we let our down our guard. Moko is silent and has a complicated expression as she listens to our idle conversation from the side. What's wrong, Moko? Is there something that's caught your attention?
いえ、犯人はあれが事故ではなく犯人がいるとすればの話ですが、犯人が村雲くんを混沌させた理由を考えていたんです。何のためだったのかと。
No,
結果としては村雲くんは意識を失い、記憶が3日分消されていました。それは犯人にとってやろうとしたことの全てだったと思いますか？
Heading back to when we first discovered Murakumo collapse in the hallway. Cannot tell whether or not the culprit had accomplished his goal based on what we witnessed. If he had, and if the culprit was that guy in white, then why was he standing there watching over Murakumo? Why didn't he leave sooner? I don't know. It's possible that we interrupted what he was trying to
私
do.
もそう考えてみたんです。
Something more might have happened if he hadn't shown up at that moment in time. Thought of that might have been... of what that might have been... What that might have been remains a mystery.
中断したんだとして、俺たちが来なかったら、例えば何をしようとするの？
Maybe he steal something from his pockets. I don't want to imagine it doing anything more violent than that, and it didn't seem like it would be. Well, it's only my own impression. I didn't sense any murderous intent. Thinking along similar lines, Muko nods and states her own thoughts on the
どこ
matter.
かへ連れ去るとか。
Take him elsewhere, huh? That could work. It's plausible. He'd probably resist if you were conscious, and we arrived right there. And we arrived right after the guy in white made him faint. But what would be the point of kidnapping Murakumo?
そこまではわかりません。連れ去る目的だったと断定する材料もありませんから。
Well, maybe the guy just wanted to erase his memories for whatever reason.
そうですね。記憶以外に変調を期していることは。
うん。村雲先輩、あれから体調崩したりもしてないみたいだね。
Was as annoying as always when I ran into him in the hallway yesterday. He started snapping at me upon seeing me, and our usual exchange ensued. What is it about me that he hates so much?
ミッチーと先輩の喧嘩、なんか名物みたいになってるんだけど。
As you mention it, there were quite a few spectators. For whatever reason, there was a crowd of people who stopped to watch us argue. Maybe there were some disciplinary committee members who were trying to drive them back to their dorms.
妙な評判を立てないでください。
I'm not doing it on purpose. He's the one who always starts it.
君がからかうのではないのですか？
I'm merely replying to his questions.
その返事の内容が問題なんじゃ。
自重してください。
Tell it to Murakumo. I get the feeling that he'd probably say the same thing to me as if he were told that. He'd say the same thing as me if he were told that. Moko says the following as if she has a
ミホ
headache.
さんは止めないのですか？
She just kept watching us with a smile on her face. I wonder why. Why aren't you two saying anything?
それでどうするの今日は。
He forcefully tries to change the topic. It would probably only serve to hurt me if I tried to switch it back, so I keep
もう少し
quiet.
見回ってみる？
Yeah. Not only have we not been able to find the guy in white, there haven't been any witness reports either. However, since we don't have any leads to go on, you don't have any choice but to randomly search for him.
ここでこうしているよりはマシでしょうね。
Not like there's anything on our plates. The cell phone rings as soon as I get up from my seat.
はい、特殊事案調査分室です。
She lifts the receiver, though. Through it, I can hear a somewhat panicked voice. Her expression suddenly goes grim as she listens.
何？事件？
Seems so way.
それは本当ですか？どこで？ええ、また保健室前なんですね。
Omoru and I exchange glances and rush over to Muko, who's now standing up.
わかりました。すぐそちらへ向かいます。はい、では。
Hanging up, she tells us what she heard on the phone while walking towards the door.
風紀委員からの通報です。また生徒が保健室前で倒れていると。
Another one?つばき！
ああ、来てくれたか。
Running up to the infirmary, we find Tsubaki there waiting for us. The collapsed students is nowhere to be found. They've probably already been taken
通報が
inside.
ありましたので。
うん。見つけたのは別の風紀委員なんだが。
Shifts her gaze from Muko to me.
吉田ソアラさんというのは、確か古賀君と同じクラスの人だな。
Yoshida?
吉田さん
Completely unexpected name comes from her mouth, and Omono and I shouted out at practically the same instant. Is she the one who collapsed?
そうなんだ。あ、でも気を失ってるだけで、命に別状はないそうだ。
Hearing that gives me a considerable amount of relief. My shoulders relax enough to make me feel amazed at how tense I was. So it's the same as what happened to Murakumo.
そうだ。やはり怪我はない。
そうですか。無事でよかった。
Yeah. But why Yoshida of all people? If the culprit is the same one, then his choice of people makes no
同じクラス
sense.
ということは、今日吉田さんに会っているのですね。
Yeah, we did. She seemed the same as always, though. I recall my ordinary conversation with Kurudani during lunch.
普通に元気だったよ。
授業が終わった後はすぐに教室を出たのでしょうか？
I'm not sure. I didn't notice because I went straight to the bureau once they were
俺も
over.
見てないな。
I think she was talking to Kurudani about something, but it was so routine that I didn't pay much attention to it, and I can't clearly remember. For what it's worth, I did indirectly tell her to quickly return to the dorms when we were talking during lunch. I should have been more explicit
警
about it.
戒を促すにも私たちにも何が起きたか把握できていない。どのように注意すべきか具体的なことが言えません。
Thought that she'd condemn me, but she instead seems to be trying to tell me that we don't have the time to be regretting our actions. While I admit that it's true, the pain I'm feeling in my stomach out of frustration hasn't subsided.
それで吉田さんは保健室で寝てるんですか？
いや、もうすぐ夜になるから寮の自室に運ばれている。
I see, the night room's supposed to be secret after all.
ああ、村雲と同じ状態とはいえ、朝まで絶対に起きないとは限らないしな。
In the off chance that she wakes up in the middle of the night, not only would the secret be exposed, she'd probably also suffer a panic attack. It's likely that her memory of the past couple of days will be lost, so she'd be confused as well. Her room was a safer choice.
先生方もそういう判断でね。一応友達が様子を見てくれているそうだ。
黒谷さんかな？
Probably, they're very close.
黒谷麻也さんだったかな。同じクラスの人だな。
Yeah, the energetic one. I'm sure that even she'd be flustered too if she saw Yoshida being carried in while unconscious.
なら吉田さんはひとまず安心と見ていいですね。
Well, we'll be able to get some answers from her tomorrow morning. Though, like Murakumo, she might have forgotten everything.
ミブさん、
Murakumo comes running up and, upon seeing us, blatantly shows a face of disgust.
なんでお前らが言うんだよ。
Because we got a report from one of your team members.
通報？
He suddenly realizes and lowers his tone of voice. He then scans our surroundings. Looks like he noticed that it's the same place where he fainted. That's right, another student collapsed here. He forcefully tries to conceal his emotions.
意識は？
まだ戻っていないそうだ。
If it's the exact same thing as what happened to you, it'll take until next morning.
だろとか言われても、俺は気づいたら3日経ってたっつうの。
Oh, right, it was more than just a night from your perspective.
まあな。
Surprisingly, he meekly nods. I'm sure that's the fact that he can't remember that what happened is gnawing at him on the inside. It looks like he might have a clue as to what's going on. Hope he's not tormenting himself too much over it. He's the kind of person to do just that. It's a little scary. Speaking of which, Mokoro seems like she has an idea too. Glancing over at her, I see that she's talking to Tsubaki about Yoshida.
では今回は付近には人影はなかったんですね。
ああ、倒れた女生徒以外誰もいなかったそうだ。
周辺でも例の白い人影を見た。
それもないよ。不審な人影は何も目撃されていない。
Apparently, the disciplinary committee sent everyone they had in order to investigate and gather information as quickly as
保
possible.
健の先生も部屋にいたそうだが、妙な物音も争うような声も何も。
音もなくですか。
How uncanny that she didn't hear anything yet when it was right outside. She is quite a scaredy cat, so just seeing that guy in white would have been enough to make her scream.
そうだね。確実に叫んでるね。
Homaru being quickly as timid emphasizes with her and nods.
では不意をつかれたか、あるいは混沌した現場がそもそもここではないか。
You mean that guy in white brought Yoshida here?
現場が別だとすればその可能性もあります。ですがまだ誰の仕業かは断定できません。
Yeah, I guess. Then the question becomes if that guy in white is unrelated to us. Then why was he standing there? The rumored ghost just happened to be walking by. Coincidence like that even happened.
けど、なんで今度もここで倒れてるんだろう。
He mutters a question that's also been on my mind. Yes, there's something special about the infirmary, maybe something to do with magic.
そういう話は聞いたことがありません。
Of course shakes her head and Tsubaki nods, being of the same opinion.
私もだ。以前にもここで何か事件が起きたというような話も覚えがない。村雲はどうだ？よく資料を読んでるだろう。
Nothing comes to mind for him either. Nothing comes to mind for him either. It seems as he crosses his arms and says
保
apologetically.
健室に関しては特に変わった騒ぎがあったなんて記述は見たことありません。
じゃあ別に場所には意味はないのかな。
ただ、なぜこの場所なのかというのは確かに気になりますね。私たちには分からなくても何かしらの意味があるのかもしれません。
Should we have someone stand guard to prevent any shady people from coming near
そ
here?
の手は打っておいて損はないと思います。いかがですか、ミブさん。
そうだな。風紀委員長に頼んでみよ
お願いします。私は念のためミストが使用された形跡がないか確認します。
Off to the library then? Rito's the only one who can ask about mist-related matters.
う。よろしく頼むぞ。行こう、村雲。
はい。
The two of them briskly leave. So, seeing them off. Will he be okay? I'm talking about Shizuku. Seems like he's really frustrated.
やっぱり気にしてるみたいだね。
Think so too, huh? Murakumo was normally so aggressive towards me, so I'm guessing he's not just going through a quiet phase. Well, Tsubaku's with him, so he hopefully won't be doing anything too rash.
ミブさんは無茶をしそうなら止めてくれるでしょう。
Oh, for now we need to go to the library. Walking through the now deserted hallway, we head towards the basement of the school. Rito is, as always, standing by herself deep within the library. As a bit of dust in the air, dust dances in the air under the dim lighting. A bit of dust dances in the air under the dim lighting, making for a modest
リ
decoration.
トさん。
また何かあったみたいね。
Seeing us approach, she walks towards us, her long hair gently swaying. Given how we rushed out of the bureau office earlier, she was probably expecting us.
今度は何？
先日と同じです。保健室前に生徒が倒れていました。
そう。全く同じ状況なの？
ほとんど。違っているのは、今回は白い人影が目撃されていないことぐらいです。
Though he disappeared quite quickly when we tried to chase him last
今回は
time.
見つかる前に消えただけかもしれないよね。
It's most likely what happened. We in the disciplinary committee have been on our guard since the Murakumo incident. The guy in white has to have noticed it too.
リトさん、本日校内でミストが使用された形跡はありませんか？
私の把握している限りはないわね。
やはりですか。では後で今回倒れた生徒にもミストの形跡がないか調べてもらえますか？
もちろんいいわよ。
あと念のために確認しておきたいのですが。
何かしら？
現場は二度とも同じ保健室の前の廊下なのです。あの保健室やその付近にミストに関係した何か特別な事柄はありますか？
保健室。そうね。保健室に何かがあったという記述は読んだ記憶がないわ。
Need to answer the question without much
では
thought.
過去にあの場所が保健室以外の別の部屋だったことがあるというようなことは？
This time she takes a few seconds before she
改装
responds.
は何度かされているはずよ。
校内の見取り図などは？
あるわよ。
それを調べさせてもらえますか？
ええ、いいわ。地図は向こうの奥の棚。私も一緒に行くわ。
お願いします。地図だけでも膨大でしょうから。
手伝おうか？
いえ、必要ありません。引き続き学園内の捜索をお願いします。
Alright, now we don't know if that guy in white will show up again. Furrowing her brow, she says with a grave look in her
万
eyes.
が一現れても 不用意に追うとまた消えてしまいそうですから、慎重に。
Yeah, I got it. Nodding, Umaru and I leave the library. I was right. She's anxious about that guy in white.
どうしたの？
Nothing much. That's just something on my
何
mind.
が？
Don't you get the feeling that Muko's hiding something from us?
隠してるのかな？
He slows down and looks at his
なん
feet.
ていうか、牛尾さんの場合、本人は隠してるつもりはないんじゃないのかもって。
He says that in a subdued voice, as if he finds it difficult to say. Oh, he probably thinks that there's no need to tell us about it.
まあ、本当に必要なことはちゃんと話してくれてると思うけどね。でも、これは関係ないだろうって牛尾さんが思ったことは。
She won't tell us. Well, she's been that way from the start. That may be all there is to it. I thought that she's been acting weirdly, but maybe she's being overly cautious with us.
未だにあまり信用されてないのかなって思うと、ちょっと寂しいけどね。
He says that as if to himself. Catching a glimpse of his depressed face makes me a little irritated about Muko for some reason. It's not like I completely trust her
なん
either.
でそこ張り合うの？そこは張り合っちゃダメだろ？
Oh, really? You seemed down in the dumps, so I wanted to counteract that.
ミッチー、からかってるだろ。
That wasn't my intention. I'm not exactly sure why I'm so pissed off, but I ended up saying something stupid as a result of my trying to hide that. Nah, I wanted to get rid of the gloomy atmosphere. I said that in my usual light-hearted tone of voice to avoid betraying my inner confusion. He doesn't seem to notice and is taking it as another one of my
和ま
jokes.
ないよ！もう、どっちも頑固なんだから。
I am.
俺から見たらいい勝負だよ。ミッチーも牛尾さんも。
Much to my displeasure. I can clearly picture her saying the exact same phrase, her voice bleeding with disappointment. It's making me angry though, so I don't say anything
ほ
about
ら
it.
ミッチー、行くよ。
Alright, alright. He's out of the way. He's worrying about the gulf that still exists in our relationship with her. Oh, it's not like I'm concerned about it either. After all, I don't think she's planning on opening up to us anytime
ミ
soon.
ッチーってば！
Yeah, I'm coming! If I know it, he's already a good distance enemy and I run to catch up. And, as expected, we caught neither a glimpse nor wind of the guy in white. The next day. Been a bit worried, but...
吉田さん！
Yoshida Soda arrives at school looking as if nothing had happened. Naturally, Korodani is with her.
おはよう。やっほー。二人とも。
Morning.
大丈夫？もうなんともないの？
大丈夫だよ。ごめんね。なんか昨日は心配かけちゃったみたいで。本当だよ。
Korodani interjects without a moment's delay. Seems to be the same as always, but she was probably fairly worried as her tone is more serious than usual.
なんか遅いから変だなと思ったら担ぎ込まれて帰ってくるんだもん。腰抜けるかと思ったわよ。
So you got back to the dorms first, I'm assuming?
それがね、私昨日当番だったからソーラの方が先に帰ったはずだったのよ。そしたらまだ寮にいなくてさ、どこで道草食ってんだろうと思ったら倒れてたって言うじゃない。ごめん。
Yoshida lowers her head and holds Korodani's hand.
朝起きたら元気だったからいいけどさ。
Yeah, seems like you're full of energy.
全然なんともないよ。
What I can see, it doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with her body.
でも何が起きたのかはさっぱりなんだよね。
She says that she slumps her shoulders and sulks, irritation written all over her face, just as we
覚えて
expected.
ないんだ。
ずっと考えてはいるんだけど。
Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions?
いいよ。
Do you remember anything about yesterday? Is there anything you remember about what happened yesterday?
それが全然。朝起きてマーヤちゃんに聞いてびっくりしたくらい。
Her eyes grow wider, must have come as a shock to her. I see. It's exactly the same as what happened to Murakumo.
なんで 何かよっぽどショックなものでも見た？怖いこと言わないでよ。見たとしても覚えてないし。
He's in the same boat as Murakumo, so it's probably not the case. What else did I want to ask about? How much of your memories are missing? Can you tell me how much of your memories are missing?
多分だけど、ここ2、3日かな。
She looks up at the ceiling as she counts on her
少
fingers.
なくとも昨日と一昨日はもうさっぱり。気がついたら3日くらい経ってた感じ。
3 days, huh?
そうそう、起きてしばらく話が合わなくて困ったもんね。まさか記憶がすっ飛んでるとは思わないからさ。私だって3日も経ってるなんて思わなかったよ。
Murakumo also said that he felt like 3 days had passed after he woke up, so it's probably safe to assume that these two incidents are related. What else did I want to ask about? Ask about the figure in white. Do you recall seeing anyone suspicious wearing a white cloak of some sort?
それって夕方に出るっていう幽霊のこと？なに幽霊また出たの？見たの？
Kurudani eagerly leans forward. Yoshida looks like she wants to shrink back and speaks in a frightened tone while shaking her head.
私知らないよ。ねえ、出たの？子がどうなの？カラスマン。
Yoshida frantically denies it, so Kurudani passes the question on to what's... No, it's just a rumor. There haven't been any sightings of it or anything.
残念そうに言わないでよ。怖いよ。ごめん。会わなくてよかったね。
Doesn't sound like Yoshida knows anything more than the rumors. Kurudani, you only heard about this after you got back to the dorms, right? I don't think we'll be able to get anything else out of Yoshida, so I try asking Kurudani instead. You two went to your separate ways after classes?
教室だったよね。ごめん、覚えてない。
Yoshida apologetically lowers her head when asked to confirm.
ああ、そっか。ごめん。確か当番だから先に寮に戻っててって言って別れたのよ。
I see.
吉田さん、保健室に行く用事とか何か、言ってなかった？
Omada remembers mid-sentence that Yoshida lost her memories and asks Kurudani.
何も。それも不思議なのよね。だってうちの教室から寮に帰るなら保健室の前なんて通らないじゃない？
Yeah, you'd have to take a detour to get there. Our classroom is fairly close to the entrance, which takes you out of the courtyard. Out to the courtyard. You'd have to walk in the opposite direction to arrive at the infirmary. If Yoshida went straight home, she would have never passed by there.
保健室に行く用事？思いつかないな。
He tries to search the remaining memories, but he doesn't have any idea either.
急に気持ち悪くなって校舎を出ないで保健室に向かったとか？
でも保健の先生も体はどこも具合悪くなってないって。
そっか、廊下で倒れちゃうくらいならなんともないってことはないか。
Can't imagine that the nurse would make such an erroneous diagnosis. Never really met her before, but Moko and Tsubaki seem to trust her, so I doubt she's incompetent.
いつも通り普通に起きてきてびっくりしたくらいだからね。私もいつも通りの朝だと思ってたのに、マーヤちゃんが驚くからびっくりしたよ。
Probably ended up a mess of a conversation with Kurudani worried that Yoshida fell ill and Yoshida confused why Kurudani would be worried. Thankfully, a nearby disciplinary committee member rushed over there once he heard that she had awoken and everything was sorted out. Must have been one chaotic morning.
けど、なんで倒れてて記憶だけ飛んでるんだろう。
Yeah, it's a real mystery. She lost her memories, maybe she saw some she wasn't supposed to and they were forcefully erased. I'm sure there's at least one mist out there capable of doing that. However, we still haven't found any traces of a mist being used.
記憶ね。
Crossing her arms, Kurudani tilts her head and ponders the situation. It's okay, there's really no need for you to think so hard about it.
どうしたのマーヤちゃん。あ、ピーンときた。何が？
Yoshida's face stiffens as it clearly shows that she's getting a bad feeling about this. I'm of the same
ここ
sentiment.
にいるソアラって実は3日前からタイムスリップしてきたんじゃない？
Yet another one of her crazy theories. Yoshida's speechless. Someone was mirroring the expression on her
だから
face.
記憶がないのよ。どうこの推理？
If that's the case, then where's the present day, Yoshida?
入れ替わりで3日前に戻っちゃってるとか？
Her enthusiasm quickly subsides and her argument grows incoherent. Then people would have noticed that Yoshida was acting strangely 3 days ago.
あれ？覚えてないけど、私3日前に何かおかしなこと言ってた？覚えてないけど。
いや、全然普通だったよ。
Umaru hurriedly tries to calm the flustered
あれ？
Yoshida.
違うのかな？いい推理だと思っ
It's
たんだ
already
けど。
debunked by the fact that she herself thinks that 3 days passed. In what way? She would have been the first to notice if her best friend were acting strangely. And if there really were some weird time slip happening, we would have noticed with Murakumo. Tsubaki would have said some, considering how sharp she is. I'll just pretend I never heard Kurudani's theory in the first place. As they're over and they leave the classroom first, after someone managing to shake off the ever so curious Kurudani. It can be such a pain to deal with.
でも今度のは吉田さんが倒れちゃってるから単なる好奇心だけでもないだろうしね。
Despite what it was, I'm sure she put some amount of thought into that theory of hers. Probably. But it's not like there's anything we can tell her.
そうだね。
Arriving to Biro, we see that Muko is already here. However unusually as it is, she's not reading but rather waiting patiently.
吉田さんの容体は？
Before we can even sit down, she posed a question. Seems quite worried. She's full of life, just like how Murakumo
そう
was.
ですか。無事だったのは何よりです。
でもやっぱり何にも覚えてないって。
予想はしていました。
Expecting grows sour, she nods. I feel the same way. Even though there's been another victim, we still haven't gained any more clues. She collapsed in the same manner after
やは
all.
り記憶も数日分なくなっているのですか？
Yeah, she said that it felt like 3 days had passed when she woke up.
同じですね。模倣である可能性もありますが、連続したものだと判断してまず間違いないでしょう。
For a moment, I thought of bringing up Kurudani's theory in order to see her reaction cross in my mind. I bet not as obvious that what the result's going to be. All I can see is a reasonable future with her getting angry at me.
けどなんでなんだろう。事故とかじゃなくて誰かの仕業なら何がしたいのかな。
I would want to erase Murakumo's Yoshida's memories and have them fade.
それは何かしようとしてる途中で中断されたんじゃないかって話もあったよね。
To be honest, I don't think that's the case. When Yoshida was found, apart from nobody seeing the guy in white, the rest of the situation was similar. If his aim was to take them somewhere or whatever, they shouldn't have ended up in the same location.
それもそうだね。じゃあどうして？
Why did both of them lose their memories and pass out, right? They were found in the same exact location and were in the same condition. As Woko said, he probably considered them to be linked, but...
古賀君には何か考えが？
Seeing me lost in my thoughts, she asks me that. Yeah? His goal was to steal their memories. There's a possibility that he wanted to steal their memories.
確かに2人とも同じように記憶がなくなっているのは気になりますが。
That's not what I mean.
ですが、その動機が見えませんね。
その動機？
記憶を奪われ、混沌させられたその動機が見えません。
Yeah, if his aim was their memories, then what's the reason behind it? There's nothing in common between Murakumo and Yoshida.
たまたま二人とも何か見ちゃいけないもの見ちゃったとか？
That's not necessarily the case.
え？どういうこと？
The two victims so far are Murakumo and Yoshida. Murakumo's side, since he's part of the disciplinary committee. Yoshida's a regular student, so she should have gone straight back to the dorms after classes. It's hard to believe that both of them coincidentally saw something by accident when they operate so differently. Not to mention that Yoshida is almost always together with Kurodani.
何か見たなら黒谷さんも見てる可能性が高いんだ。
In that scenario, I'd imagine that the culprit would target the talkative Kurodani first.
そっか。じゃあ何か見たわけじゃない？
Besides, there's nothing that proves that he was after their memories in the first place.
私もそこはまだ断定すべきではないと思います。混沌した原因がミストならば、記憶が代償に奪われたという可能性も考えられます。
Compensation, huh? Something activates a mist. They don't have enough mana, then a compensation is required. Compensation differs between mists, so it's entirely possible that there is one out there that takes away memories.
けどさ、リトさんは今のところミストが使われてる形跡はないって言ってたよね。
Yeah, but it wasn't a mist. What made them faint?
ええ。
Moko seems to have hit an impasse there and furrows her brow.
結局よくわかんないね。
仕方がありません。情報が不足しすぎです。
Doesn't help that neither of them remember what happened.
それに犯人はかなりうまく立ち回っています。あれだけ身分さんたち風紀委員が巡回しているにもかかわらず、まるで尻尾をつかませていません。
Yeah. He's barely leaving behind any tracks. It's almost as if that one time we saw him standing there was just a mirage.
そういえば保健室の方はどうだったの？
Moko shakes her head with much chagrin.
調べましたが、不審な点は見当たりませんでした。
Has it always been an infirmary?
地図が残っていない時代もありましたが、少なくとも何らかの魔術的なものがあった場所ではないと思います。そういうものが移設されたのなら、新たに移設したことが記録に残っているはずですが、それもありませんでしたから。
Apparently she confirmed with Rito that there have been precedents of that with other locations. Could you give an example of a magic line?
君が踏み壊した彫像などですね。
I'm caught off guard by how nonchalantly she says that.
そういえば。
He gives an awkward laugh and starts sweating. It's been a while since that bad memory's been brought up. Statue's unrelated to what's going on, though, right?
どう関係するのさ。あそこから魔力が吹き出してて当たった人が倒れるとか？
Don't say such scary things!
さすがにそんな事態になっていたら、学園側が放っておかないでしょう。
That's good. Umaru and I would have been the first victims anyway if that were the
彫
case.
像も保健室も直接的な関係はないと判断していいと思います。
Yes, I guess we've hit a dead end on the infirmary trail then.
ねえ、ですが念のため、あの場所には風紀委員が見張りを立ててくれているそうです。
Alright, we can leave that for them. We can leave that for them to take care of.
こっちは3人しかいないし、見張りまで手が回らないしね。
Which leaves us with patrolling, huh? Not like we can do anything else at the moment.
まあ、いいでしょう。
We're not gonna get anywhere by holding ourselves up in the office and speculating. God, I keep yawning to the point where my eyes are starting to tear up. I hate it. Our only option is to search the school for a guy in white despite the feeling of futility. Leaving the room, we see that the sun's already setting, dyeing the outside scenery crimson. We do know that the ghost isn't, quote unquote, isn't only active during this specific time of day, because were sent back during the Night Realm when he helped the MC and Neko. Anyways. Leaving the room as we already read that. The only people there are members of the disciplinary committee. The regular students have all returned to the dorms.
白いやつ出ないね。
Both at the times we've seen him were in the hallways of the school, so we're walking among them, but...
最初に現れたのはここなんですね。
Standing in the middle of the hallway, she stares straight ahead. He disappeared once he turned the corner that she's looking at. Yeah, we were on our way to the bureau.
びっくりしたよね。何気に幽霊の話してたら本当にそれっぽいのがいるんだもん。
We resume walking as we talk. Muko speaks without looking our
その
way.
時はそばには誰もいなかったのですよね。
Nah, he was just wandering around by himself. Seeing that, Umaru let out a scream, which seemed like it startled the guy in
それ
white.
ですぐ逃げちゃったんだよね。
見られただけで逃げたのですね。声をかけたとか追いかけようとかした後ではなくて。
Think back to that time.
白い影か。
ええ。あ、多分。じゃない。
証言通りだな。
Really did appear.
へえ。本物？
待て。
Umaru screamed, the guy in white ran. Tsubaki instinctively chased after him. Pretty sure that's what happened. Yeah, we only chased after him. We only chased him after he
そんな
ran.
に姿を見られたくないってことは、やっぱり見られたら困ることしてるってこと。
But when Furuya and I met him afterwards, he helped us come back to this
財
world.
布も届けてくれたよね。やっぱり悪い人っぽくないな。
Muko, who's a little ahead of us, stops walking and turns faces when we're
それ
talking.
は学園内で目撃された時はすぐさま逃亡して奇妙な空間では古賀君たちの方をさっさと追い返したとも取れますね。
I guess so. He opened the door and then practically forced Furuya to go through it in the end. Basically, he doesn't want to interact with others for extended periods of time.
なんでだろ
Probably because he doesn't want people to figure out his identity.
マントで全身を覆い顔も見せない正体を隠したいらしいとは推察できますね。
Now we have to figure out why he's doing that.
そうですね。常に人との接触を避けているようですから今回の件とは別に何か理由があるのでしょう。
What are your thoughts on this, Moko?
私ですか？
Can you think of any reason why he'd want to hide his identity? After several seconds of deliberation, she raises a slender index finger
可
and
能
says,
性はいくつかあります。一つは普通でない姿をしている場合、
う。中身が人間じゃないとか。
Well, it's not impossible. Maybe he's actually one of those weird monsters from that other world. I don't think a cloak would be enough to conceal that, if that were the case. Any other theories?
昼の学園の一般生徒である場合、
一般生徒？
風紀委員や私たちのように放課後も学園内に残る権限を持たない生徒。
You mean like he might have something to do after classes and wants to stay here?
そうです。風紀委員に見つかれば追い返されてしまいますから。
But wouldn't that create other problems people would notice if he wasn't at the dorms?
だから夕方にしか出ないんじゃない？バレる前に寮に戻ってるとか。
What do you make it in time?
正直危険ですね。遅れると戸締まりされて寮に入れなくなる恐れがありますから。
She probably feels like the hypothesis isn't very convincing and offers a counter-argument. You can probably ignore that train of thought. Any other
ありま
possibilities?
す。
What was that? Speaks after taking a shallow
誰
breath.
かの知り合いである場合、
知り合い？
何らかの理由で知人に知られたくない行動をとっている人物が顔を隠しているという場合です。
Most suspect would be someone I know then.
あ、そうか。今まで一番合ってるのってミッチーか。
There's the time Tsubaki chased after him, the time he helped us out in the other world, the time he returned my wallet to me, And lastly, the time he was standing beside the unconscious Murakumo. Now, if anything, that proves that it's likely not someone you know, that he knows. Because in both instances where he ran, he was not the only person here. And both at the two instances that he interacted with them, the ghost didn't like try to keep his distance. He was actually quite comfortable getting close to him. So clearly, it would not be someone that he would recognize. If anything, it's probably more of a case of the ghost. Either the disciplinary committee members know him, or the ghost doesn't want them to know what he looks like because a description would give something away. Anyways. Whenever we met, he was always trying to either run away or distance himself from me.
心当たりはあるんですか?
Not at all. Even though I'm the one that's saying this is horribly pure coincidence that we encountered him the most out of all of us.
でしょうね。古賀君はこの学園に来て日が浅く。
Could count the number on my own hands. Then you two, there's Tsubaki, Murakumo, my classmate, Sarito. Then the name of some of the night room students, starting with Furuya. Woman who does the same thing as he watches me count off my fingers.
俺もミッチーとほとんど同じようなもんだな。
Let's not forget the principal.
可能性その4ですね。
え?
She abruptly says that, raising a fourth finger on her hand as on the hand she was using to keep track of the number of hypotheses.
顔を見れば誰もが知る存在である場合。
え？学園長？
Are you serious about
冗
that?
談です。
I thought so, but it doesn't say that much. But don't say that with such a straight face. Give us a break. She's the kind of person to do something just to get do something just to get a kick out of
で
it.
は保留にしますか?
Don't. It'll only make things even more complicated.
いくら変な人でもやらないと思うな。
そうですね。被害者が出ている状況で愉快犯的な行動を取るほどおかしな人ではないと思います。
Yeah, she's not entirely a book you can judge by its cover.
あ、夜だ。
He shuffles away from the window.
見つかりませんでしたね。
Oh, the reason is still a mystery, but the guy in white apparently only appears in the evening. Once again, we've hit the time limit today. The next morning, while heading towards the classroom, Kurodani comes bursting out. What's the matter? An unusually serious expression catches me off guard.
聞いてない？また誰か倒れてたらしいよ。
Another one?
さっき風紀委員の人たちがバタバタ走りながらそう言ってた。
Damn it, it really is a chain.
ミッチー、行ってみようよ。
Yeah, Kurodani, did it happen outside the infirmary again?
ごめん、場所は知らないや。
Alright. Thanks. We'll check there for starters. You pass our classroom and hurry over there. Tsubaki! In the hallway outside the infirmary, Tsubaki and Murakumo are having a conversation with sullen expressions on their
あ
faces.
あ、君たち来てくれたのか。
Ushio is suspiciously absent. Seeing us rush over towards him, she stops her conversation and turns to face us. Murakumo looks annoyed but keeps quiet nonetheless. We've heard about it when we got to class. Someone collapsed again.
今度は校庭だ。登校してきた早番の風紀委員が見つけた。
So again, leaving it out where someone would find them. Courtyard, it wasn't
ここ
here.
には風紀委員や先生が交代で見張りに立っていたんだ。
Yeah, they can't
異
leave
常は
it
なかっ
here
たそうだ。
if there's people on guard. Saying that, she shifts her line of sight to the end of the hallway. Standing there is a male student wearing the same coat as Tsubaki and Murakumo, who notices her and greets us.
私たちもそれを確認しに今ここへ来たばかりなんだ。
Oh, he told you about it. Here's the disciplinary committee member confirmed that nothing happened here.
倒れてた人は？
寮へ運ばれたよ。
Okay.
今度は3年生の男子だったそうだ。
There's no pattern to this at all. Monaka was a second year, Yoshida's a first year. This time it's a third year. Just checking, but is he someone that either of you two know?
顔と名前くらいは知ってる。風紀委員は基本生徒は全員覚えてるからな。
Realizing the gravity of the situation, he answers me honestly in a subdued voice instead of trying to start a
た
fight.
だし別に親しくはないし、俺は吉田さんと続けて襲われるような理由に見当はつかん。
Yeah, there's nothing in common between you and Yoshida.
幸い今回も混沌しているだけのようなんだがな。
What pain this turning out to be. There were a few days separating Murakumo and Yoshida's incident, but this was right on the heels of Yoshida's. It was getting worse and worse.
あ、
As concerned as we are, the first bell rings and we have no choice but to go back to our respective classrooms.
ではな、2人とも。くれぐれも気をつけてくれ。
Yeah, we will. You too. The coats of the two disciplinary committee members flutter as they turn around and walk down the hallway. Let's come back to this after classes.
そうだね。
After waiting impatiently for classes to finish, we immediately run over to the bureau.
今朝倒れていた生徒はまだ意識が戻っていないそうです。
Moko is already there and tells us about what she learned from
前
Tsubaki.
の2人と同じだったら夜までは目が覚めないかな。
That sounds about right considering how long it took for Murakumo and Yoshida, which means that we won't be able to ask him anything until tomorrow
状
morning.
態は村雲くんたちと非常に似通っているので、話を聞ける望みは薄いと思っていた方がいいですね。
You won't remember anything, huh? We shouldn't rely on the testimonies of the victims. The streak of victims is getting problematic.
そうですね。犯行のスパンが短くなるというのは危険な兆候です。
The frequency is increasing. Just a couple of days ago, we were talking about how there was nothing happening, and we thought that was the end of it. And we thought that was the end of it. You're naive. Oh, we didn't want to end the case unfinished. We were careless.
でもなんで急に早くなったんだろう。何か急ぎたい理由でもできたのかな。
警備が強化されたことで焦り始めたのかもしれません。
Man shot smartest though, since he didn't do it while there were people on lookout.
今回も白いのは出てないの？
確認しましたが、今回も倒れていた生徒のそばには誰もいなかったそうです。
I'm starting to believe that the guy in white who was beside Murakumo was unrelated to all this.
たまたま通りかかっただけだったってこと？
The first time we saw him, he was pretty much wandering around too. He was curious as to why there was someone on the floor and went up to him.
無関係ならなぜ逃げたのでしょう。
I might be imagining things, but her question sounded more like she was thinking aloud rather than directed at us. If I asked her about it now, though, she'd probably dodge the question. Didn't we say that it's because he didn't want to be seen by or come into contact with
え
others?
え、それなら逃げた理由は事件とは関係ないことになりますね。
じゃああれは事件に関係なく勝手に学園に住み着いてる変な人かもしれないの？
そういった方がいるらしいといった話は聞いたことがありません。
Wanna go ask the principal if she's letting a monster out to graze or something?
それなら事前にあれはペットだと説明があると思いますが。
Don't glare at me like that, I'm just kidding. It's totally possible that he's not human, though.
まあ妖精はいたし人形も動いてたし。
And
い
monsters.
ろいろなものがいるようですが、その多くはミストの発動とともに現れています。
We strayed away from the main topic and she's trying to steer us back on track.
ですが今回はそういった目撃証言は一切なく、ミストが使用された形跡もありません。
If Murakumo and Yoshida accidentally activated one, it would have gone out of control and created a huge mess.
これまでのケースならそうなっているはずです。それにもう一つ、
What is it?
暴走させたミスト使用者は皆一度倒れてしまうと私たちがミストを封じるまで意識を失ったままでした。
あ、そっか。村雲先輩も吉田さんも次の日には目を覚ましてるね。
Yeah, Monokuma did mention it when he woke up. That if it were a mist, that the victim would wake up at the same time as when someone stops the mist.
ええ、ですから彼らがミストを使用して混沌したとは考えにくいと思います。
What could it be then? Some other magical tool? She shakes her head as if to say that she doesn't know
リ
either.
トさんに聞いてみましょう。今日は少し質問の仕方を変えます。
Really is annoying that the person you want to ask all these questions is a fucking search engine. That you have to, like, ask a question 10,000 different fucking ways before you get the answer you need. Walking past rows of bookshelves, we find Rito in her usual spot, blending in with her surroundings. She's looking up at a shelf while running her fingers along the spine of a bulky book.
リトさん。
As Rito's eyes are reading the title, Moko calls out to her. Her gaze relaxes for a second upon seeing us. However, she quickly becomes serious again as she realizes that something has happened.
何かしら。
また被害者が出ました。
Troubled by the word another, Rito lowers the ends of her brows. I'm sure that even she's getting disturbed by this chain of
今度は
events.
3年生の男子なのですが、校庭に倒れていたそうです。それ以外の状況はこれまでの2件とほぼ同じで。
Moko briefly explains the current case to Rito.
そこで質問があります。仮にミストの仕業ではないと仮定して、このような状態になる現象に何か心当たりがありますか？完全に一致しなくても似た事例でも構いません。
混沌。外傷はなし。数日分の記憶の消失。翌日になれば目覚める。本人の能力以上の大量の潜在魔力を瞬時に消費すると、そのような状態になるかもしれないわ。
記憶まで消えてしまうこともあるのですか？
自分の持つ魔力の容量を一瞬で超えるようなことがあればね。
When would such a large amount of mana be needed?
例えば、強力な魔力を必要とする魔術的に序列が高いミストを使用する。
But neither Murakumo nor Yoshida showed any trace of having used the mist, right?
そうね。見当たらないわ。
Probably finds that strange as well until
そ
it's
の
read.
魔力の大量消費ですが、ミストを使用した場合のみですか？他の人物に使われたミストのせいで混沌し記憶を失うということは？
記憶を操作するミストは確かにあるわ。だけど、被害者たちの様子を聞く限り、使用者の状態に思えるわ。
じゃあ誰かが先輩たちにミストだって言わずに使わせて気絶させて、すぐミストを止めて回収してったとか？
That requires seeing it, right? Even if the activator is unconscious, the mist would still be operating.
ミストによるでしょう。ヤヌスの鍵は古谷町さんの手を離れた時点で彼女でなくても使えました。
Oh, that's sure. Ones like that could be easily retrieved after Murakumo and Yoshida fainted. Rito interjects after listening to our conversation for a little while.
ただ、それほど強力なミストが使われたとなると、もっと大きな怪異が起きても良さそうなものなの。
Even if it were sealed the instant after it's activated?
記憶を失うほどの魔力ですもの。発動する力も大きいはずよ。
確かにそんな大量の魔力を使うんなら、もっと派手なことになってそうかも。
そうですね。今のところミストが使用された形跡すら見当たらないのですから、消費された大量の魔力はどこへ消えてしまったのか。
If something consumes a lot of mana is where I would say. But I will check the answer. There's something that consumes a lot of mana. Okay. There's something that consumes lots of mana, isn't there?
どこに？
Right here. Pointed where I'm currently standing. The school.
はあ、そっか。
私もそう思います。夜の世界への変貌。あれは 壮大な魔術ではないのですか？
ええ。あれはおそらく繊細で綿密な仕掛けのしてある高等な魔術よ。
Picture the spectacle that occurs when a bell in the clock tower chimes. The amount of mana required for the mists we've dealt with so far wouldn't even hold a candle to what something like that would need.
今までのミストと同じように夜の世界を呼び込むために代償として魔力が支払われているのなら、その大量の魔力は誰がどこで消費しているのでしょう。
He just shakes her head without even a second of thought.
それは私にもわからない。
Even Rito's clueless,
こ
huh?
こにはそれを記述してある本はないの。
We're surrounded by huge bookshelves. Rito turns to scan all of them. There's nothing about it in this massive collection of books. Where's the night realm of night then? Despite being used to it, it's more absurd than all of the absurd things in the school combined.
私が把握しているのは、この天秤瑠璃学園の創立者ラズリットが残した遺品について。この図書館の蔵書も遺品の一部なの。それ以外のことはわからないから答えられないわ。
そうですか。
I'm surprised that Night Realm actually falls into that latter category. It's because it's something fundamentally different from the Mists and of a much larger scale. But if Night Realm really is something so grand, doesn't that mean there's something massive making it work behind the scenes?
あれだけの現象を引き起こすなら、そうね。
Then isn't school being one huge magical contraption, a trail we could follow? We thought the infirmary might have had some that since we thought that the infirmary might have had some since it was where the first two incidents took place, but if we consider the entire place.
保健室とか校庭とか敷地内だったら場所は関係ないってこと？
That's what I was thinking. Something like they're slowly sucking out the mana of every student here.
怖いこと言わないでよ、ミッチー。
Moko casts her eyes downward as if ruminating what I said. She soon turns her line of sight back to Rito.
そういった記録、この学園が建てられた当時の記録はないのですか？
もちろんあるわ。でもこの学園は20年ほど前に一度大きな事故があって建て替えられているの。
ああ、それで改装されたことがあると。
Thinking back, Rito did mention this when Moko was investigating the infirmary. So we should be looking into records from when it was rebuilt.
そのため建物自体が昔の記録と大きく変わってしまっているの。だから私にも今の学園の状態はよくわからないのよ。
確かに調べさせてもらった地図も改装前のものだけでしたね。
Almost as if they tried to get rid of the fucking records. So the contents of those reports aren't going to match up with what we see today. But if Rito doesn't know, then would it be better if we asked the principal instead? Seems likely to know. He said that Muku looks at me with contempt.
君は本当に現状把握能力が不足していますね。
What, is there something wrong with asking the principal?
いえ、君の提案自体は素晴らしいと思いますよ。ただ残念ながら学園長は今出張中です。
Business trip?
以前に告知が来たはずですが、もう数日は戻られませんよ。
出張って村雲先輩が倒れるより前から？
そうです。ですから学園長はこの騒ぎをまだご存じないかもしれません。
There's nothing we can do about it, but at the same time, but of all the times for her to be away, she's the biggest mystery of them all. She doesn't look her age, so how old is she? Exactly is she? For that matter, is she even human? Does she hold actual conversations with that Ermine? Everything's being kept in the dark.
どうしよう。やっぱり手がかりなしだよね。
The options of masking the principal is gone, so in the end all we're left with is, probably won't do us any good, but how about we keep patrolling? I'd hate if we leave it alone and something happens.
今回だけ現場が違ったことも気になります。
Yeah, let's go take a look at the courtyard just to be
で
safe.
は リトさん、ありがとうございました。
いいえ、いつでも来てくれるといいわ。
If anything, the principal going on a fucking business trip literally like a few days before Murakumo passes out is suspicious. Because the first thought on who would be supplying the spell that, you know, makes the realm of night a thing would be the principal. So if she's gone, of course she can't supply it with mana anymore. We leave the library after showing Rito our gratitude. Exiting the building, we see that it's already twilight outside. In mere minutes, night will fall. The courtyard is deserted. All the students have already returned to dorms.
この辺りだと聞いています。
Moko points out where the third incident took place. As expected, there is no sign of it having happened. Surveying the area, I notice that while the courtyard is close to the building, there's a wide open area. Suspicious activity would be caught instantly. If he was found in the morning, that couldn't have happened in the evening before.
それじゃあ夜の生徒に見つかるんじゃない？
それ以前に風紀委員の放課後の見回りで発見されているでしょう。
Alright, and you're not allowed to leave the dorms once you come back.
それはまず不可能です。夜の世界になった後、寮は厳重に戸締まりされて出られません。
Let's ensure that there's no chance of a regular student wandering into the night realm. Otherwise, you get curious people like Kurudani trying to sneak out.
ってことは倒れてた人って朝早くここに来て被害に遭ったってこと？
That's the only way. There are always students who arrive early because they're on duty or for some other reason. It was completely empty in the mornings. Then your hypothesis about having the victim touch a mist could work.
まだ登校する生徒も少ない時間帯だったようですから可能でしょう。ミストを使ったとすればですが。
She takes another look at our surroundings. Her long shadow extends from her feet, matching her movements and changes in angle. Her gaze, intent on not missing even the most minor detail, stops on a window that can't be seen through due to a glare of the setting sun.
今回に限り校庭だったのはやはり保健室前に見張りが立ったからでしょうか。
On the other side of the window is the infirmary, the location where Murakumo and Yoshida collapsed. There are probably still disciplinary committee members and teachers standing guard there just in case. Yeah, the culprit doesn't care where it takes place. Perhaps it wasn't worth the effort to force his way in.
ミッチーが言ってた学園中が魔術施設っていうのが当たってたらどこでもいいわけだもんね。
A place that's hidden away and without any people at all is all he wants.
それで場所ではなく犯行時刻を人目の少ない時間に移した。
Seems to be thinking the same thing, and there's a tone of agreement in her voice.
被害者の人は何か用があって朝早く来たのかな？それとも犯人に呼び出されたとか？
If it were the latter, then why was he selected to be the victim?
そうですね。村雲くんとも吉田さんともこれといった接点がある人ではなさそうでした。
Worst case scenario is just picking at random.
誰でもいいから記憶を消したり気絶させたりしてるってこと？
His voice starts trembling from my remark. It's something I didn't really want to consider, and I'm starting to feel queasy.
対象が誰でもいいという可能性は残念ながらありますね。
Could just be doing all this for fun.
そうでないことを祈ります。
Muttering that, she turns
戻りま
around.
しょう。夜が来ます。
The bell and the clock tower chimes the moment we step into the school building, and then the night realm appears. The night realm students laugh and talk merrily as we walk past them, headed for the bureau.
徳佐だ。おはよ
I don't know why the game's yeeting my fucking mouse all over the place right now. Turn to face the voice calling out to us from behind. We see Iba Kumiko and Shichiba Hina.
おはようございます。
Shichiban Hina.
特査分室の皆さん、おはようございます。
Hina bows and returns Muko's greeting while Iba takes a look at all of
どうか
all
し
of
た
us.
の？みんな揃って。
いえ、こちらでは何か変わったことは起きていませんよね。
変わったこと？なんだいそれ。
え、知りません？
うん。
ひなも。
All of the victims have been day students. Doesn't seem like the news has reached the students of the night
いえ
realm.
実は廊下で気を失って倒れていた人がいたもので。
へえ。なんか物騒だね。
Iba's usual energetic expression all but disappears when she hears of the grave situation.
なぜ倒れていたのですか？
それがわからなくて調査中なんです。
そっか。大変だね。
頑張ってください。
ねえ、ありがとうございます。
First bell rings. The two upperclassmen wave goodbye and proceed to their classroom. Since all three of the victims were day students, do you think that the culprit doesn't know about the night realm?
私も今そのことについて考えていました。
She looks out the window. Pale moon shines amidst the pitch black scenery.
犯人は夜の世界の存在を知らないのか、それとも夜の生徒は犯人が行いたい目的にそぐわない理由でもあるのか。
You mentioned that it'd be hard for a regular student who's already gone back to the dorms to wander around in the evening, right? That should more or less eliminate the first possibility.
そうですね。では犯人が夜の生徒を狙わないのはなぜでしょう？
If a crime were committed in the evening after all the students have gone back to the dorms, it's not like this night realm won't appear. It automatically happens once the bell on the clock tower rings. And what about... What would happen if a night realm student fainted the same way? It'd be morning by the time they woke up, wouldn't it? Monako and Yoshida, it took about half a day for them to regain consciousness. If a student fainted during the night, then it'd be way past the start of class for the day students by the time they woke up.
そうなりますね。
Will they wake up in our world, or will they disappear along with the night realm?
わかりません。そういった前例はないはずなので。
She explains how a night realm student, whether asleep or awake, being in the academy during the day is unprecedented. All of them leave in the same manner when they arrived. I'm guessing that the culprit doesn't know either, or he doesn't want to take the risk.
予測不可能な出来事を避けるためですか。ありえますね。慎重に姿を見られないようにしている犯人ですから、危険な賭けはしなさそうです。
っていうかさ。
After listening to our conversation, Omoru starts speaking meekly.
単にかわいそうだからじゃないかな。
Confused, can't say anything other than
もし
that.
夜の生徒は朝になってこっちに取り残されちゃうんだったらかわいそうだろ。
I understand what he's trying to say, but I'm still speechless. Makes sense. Someone like Furuya were trapped in a weird world they'd never seen before, all alone. They'd probably start panicking and crying. I definitely feel sorry for them, but... I'd never thought about it that way before. I finally managed to say something, but then Omoru looks shocked and grows flustered.
おかしい？
いえ、ありえない話ではないかと。
じゃあなんでそんな微妙な顔なの？
It's not really awkward per se. She's looking surprisingly relaxed. Can't help but force a smile. Sounds like something you'd come up with.
どういう意味だよ？
It's nothing. It's possible that the culprit's that guy in white.
なぜです？
Seriousness returns to her face. It seemed pretty good-hearted when I met him at least. None of the victims suffered any injuries, so maybe that's his way of being considerate. She's keeping a straight face, but I get the feeling that I caught a glimpse of some that she's trying to hide.
別に俺に気を使ってくれてるんだったら聞かなかったことにしてくれれば。
いえ、参考になりました。
そうなの？
ええ。
Nodding, her expression seemingly takes on a smile again before returning to his usual demeanor.
今日はもう引き上げましょう。また明日です。
Yeah. Corporate doesn't seem to act during the night. You would only realize the naivete of our thinking the next morning. Back at the dorms, I ran into Tsubaki in the hallway. She's still wearing a uniform, so she's probably only just got back as well. Hey, you still patrolling? Careful not to overwork yourself, okay?
そちらこそ。
She giggles and shakes her hair. She then suddenly looks at me full of worry.
みーくん、君はこの事件をどう思う？
Huh?
私には犯人のやりたいことがさっぱり見えてこないんだ。
Sounds like she's reaching the limit of her endurance. The increasing number of victims, not to mention that the first one was her partner. Her patience is wearing thin much faster than ours. So it applies to us, it's just... Don't beat yourself up over it. Try to say that as lighthearted as I can. You've been doing all this patrolling, but it's not like we haven't seen results. The culprit's actions changed this time, which means that he's starting to run out of options. I don't think that all this has been for naught. Listening until the end of what I had to say, she tears up.
ありがとう、みーくん。君にそう言ってもらえると、少し疲れが取れた気がするよ。
You can tell she said that in order to not cause me worry. However, I'm not sure that I could say the same thing to her. No problem. Well, good night.
あ、おやすみ。ゆっくり休んでくれ。
You too. Her words are full of implications. However, it definitely did brighten my day. Seeing her off with a smile and waving goodbye, I returned to my room. Better get to sleep soon. Maybe it's because of our fruitless patrols, but I haven't been sleeping well lately. I also get the feeling that I haven't been having the most pleasant dreams either. But thankfully I don't remember them after I wake up. I think I once heard that dreams, which you forget upon waking up, usually contain bad omens, but I'll pretend I don't know about it. Giving a yawn as I leisurely roll out of bed, I get myself dressed. I left empty-handed yesterday, too. What's gonna happen today? I'm worried about the increase in frequency of these attacks. Mainly because we haven't made much progress. If it keeps accelerating like this, we're pretty screwed. Finish changing and hear frantic knocking on my door.
みーくん、起きているか？
Tsubaki? Yeah, I'm up. Sounds flustered as I rush over to open the door. Tsubaki is standing outside looking extremely tense. I don't think she's here to say good
朝
morning.
からすまない。実はまた、
Another victim.
わからない。まだ見つかっていないんだ。
What do you mean? She continues talking while still looking confused.
寮の部屋から生徒がいなくなったんだ。
From his room?
今朝、友達が誘いに行ったら返事がなくて、扉にも鍵がかかっていたんだそうだ。
So the friend went to notify Tsubaki since she's on the disciplinary committee and has a master key.
私もノックして声をかけてみたが、全く反応がなくてな。心配になって開けてみたら、誰もいなかった。
Empty. Was the window open?
窓も扉も鍵は閉まっていた。部屋の中から忽然と消えてしまったとしか思えないんだ。
He disappeared from the inside of a locked room. Is this related to the fainting incident we're dealing with? If so, then that means the culprit can kidnap people from a locked room. What the hell? Suddenly reminded of the white ghost that was standing beside Murakumo when he collapsed. If it's him, he could probably enter a locked room.
どう考えても異常事態だから、君たち特殊事案調査分室にも知らせておくべきかと思い。
Thanks, that's especially alright.
ミブさんミブさん
Loud footsteps approach us as their originator calls out to Tsubaki. He's another disciplinary committee member. I've seen him a few times
ああ、
before.
ここだ。どうした？
Points towards the school building.
見つかりました。学園の廊下に倒れていたそうです。
学園にいたのか？
Student who disappeared, you mean?
ああ、風紀委員全員で探していたんだ。すまない。私は先に行くよ。
Got it. She leaves with her fellow team member. Kidnapped from his room, huh? That's the same guy doing this. Wasn't he supposed to be okay with any random person he found? I'd appreciate it if we could at least eliminate the possibility of him doing it for kicks. I'll be late if I stay here thinking about this. I'll head over there too. Putting on my blazer and grabbing my shoes, I dash out of my room. Shishigatani Ushio View.
だって？
そうそう、捕まると記憶を食べられちゃうらしいよ。
夕方に出るってやつだよね。
そう、あの白い幽霊。時計塔に住んでいるんだって。それでね、あの時計塔にはね、入り口がどこにもないの。
じゃあ鐘とかどうやって鳴らしてるの？
だからあそこにはあの幽霊が住んでて。
やだ、もう絶対一人になれないよ。
今朝の被害者で4人目。校内ではすっかりあの白い幽霊の犯行だということになってしまっている。
You mean that the guy in the white brought you to here?
今回も白いのは現れてないのかな？
そんなことはない。そんなはずはない。だってムツキは彼女のいる場所につながれば、私はただ、ここは分室？
What was wrong?
まさか君は？ムツキ、あなたは本当にムツキなの？ならばなぜ私に答えてくれなかったの？私のことがわからなかった。いいえ、ムツキに私がわからないはずがない。
牛さんのもーもーちゃん。もーちゃんって嫌かな？私ね、牛さんって可愛いから好きだよ。
ではなくて、なぜ名前をそんな風に、自分の好きなもののように呼ぶのかって聞いて。
もーちゃん、でもいい？
いいよ。
もーちゃん、今ちょっと危なかったよ。ちゃんと周り見てるの？
ごめんなさい。
違うの。心配してるの。そういうもーちゃんも可愛いかもしれないけど、怪我はダメだよ。
今のどこが可愛いと？
あ、そうそう。そういえばね、この間もーちゃんが気にしてたことなんだけど。
何か意見があるのなら聞かせて。
でも、本当につまらないことだよ。
立ててる？あなたの考え方はとても独創性があるから。
本当？ならよかった。
学園？そんな山奥に？
でもね、とっても面白そうなところなんだよ。
大丈夫なの？なんだか。
どうしたの？
怖い。
もーちゃんは心配性だな。
実は聞いたことがあるの。
そうだね。
ただの噂かもしれない。だけど、どうして
もーちゃん鋭いから、本当に何かありそうな気がしてきちゃったな。
ムツキ。
でも大丈夫。もーちゃんが心配してくれてるの分かったもの。
ねえ、どうして？何かあってからでは遅いのよ。
気をつける。
どうしても行くの？
うん。ごめんね。どうしてもそこに行ってみなきゃいけないの。私、どうしても。ごめんね、もっちゃん。
そうか。
ちゃんと手紙も書くよ。離れちゃうけど、何も変わらないみたいに。
ムツキが決めたことなら、私は応援する。
ありがとう、もっちゃん。もっちゃんならそう言ってくれると思ってた。
でも気をつけて。私にとってムツキは何より大事な友達だから。
知ってるよ。だから心配かけたくないし。約束。
ムツキ、
私もーちゃんに心配かけない。
ムツキ、あなたが突然消えてしまって、だから私ここまで探しに来たのに。事件を調査する組織を作って、たくさん魔術のことを勉強して、なのにますますわからなくなってしまった。あなたは今どこにいるの？何をしているの？無事なの？それともやっぱり私。
Return to the ley line. After class, Omaru and I hurry over to the bureau. Muko's not here yet. Usual seat is empty. Don't see her bag either, so she's probably still on her way.
そのうち来るんじゃない？今朝の事件のことは多分知ってるだろうし。
Yeah, I was just talking to someone from the disciplinary committee. As we chat and wait, there isn't the slightest hint of her coming. She's taking her time.
珍しいね。被害者の人のところにでも行ってるのかな。3番目の人はもう起きてるはずだよね。
And she didn't take us with her?
すねないでよ。ぞろぞろ行っても仕方ないし、いいじゃん。
Yeah, deciding to go first. Deciding to go first to visit victim after having heard that he's woken up sounds like something she would do. I'm getting worried about something else, or that something else might have happened when she was taking this long.
牛尾さん。
Oh, you're finally here. After much waiting, Moko arrives. Her expression is much more strained than normal. What's
昨
wrong?
日昏倒した3人目の被害者なんですが。
The third year, right? Have you talked to him yet? I guess that's the reason why she was late. Or so I
い
thought.
え、それがまだ意識が戻らないそうです。
The amount of mana being drained is getting worse. Probably. Huh?
戻らないって、もう丸1日経ってるのに。
眠ったままだそうです。
Her voice is stained with unease. He still hasn't woken up after all this time. But why? Is there something different from what happened to Murakumo
わ
Yoshida?
かりません。潜在魔力の差ということなのかもしれませんし。
So people with less mana will take longer to wake up, you mean?
ですがそれは被害者が何らかのミストで魔力を消費していた場合です。彼らが倒れた原因すら分かっていませんから。
And not only are they fainting, they're even disappearing now.
今朝の件ですね。
Yeah, he suddenly vanished from inside his room.
見つかったのは確か学園の廊下だったと聞いていますが、状態もやはりこれまでと。
I was told it was the same. They repeat what Tsubaki said to
そ
me.
れでは今回もやはり一連の事件とつながっているということですか。
部屋にまで入ってくるって怖いね。
And the room was locked too.
密室状態の室内から人一人連れ去るなど普通ではありません。
I think it's the worst work I've ever missed. I ask her in a confident tone, and she answers me, having seemingly figured it out.
この件は例えばあのミストがあれば可能です。
Key of Giannis. One missed. Key of Giannis. That key,
え
right?
え、ヤヌスの鍵です。
そっか。あれなら鍵かかってても関係ないね。
むしろ 部屋の前まで行く必要すらありませんからね。
If I remember correctly, the key would allow him to go directly into the
そ
room.
の後、被害者は学園内で発見されたのでしょ？
Yeah, in the hallway. The culprit would have opened the door from there to the victim's room early in the morning, then dragged him through it. Maybe he's been using that key from the start, which would explain why we've rarely seen him.
じゃあ犯人はあの鍵を持ってて使える人ってこと？
そうと決まったわけではありませんが、ヤヌスの鍵がどうなっているか確認はしておいた方がいいでしょうね。
My first guess would be the principal. The fairy had stolen it and Furia had picked it up, but after that it would have been brought back to the principal.
学園長って出張にもあの鍵持っていくのかな？
わかりませんが、貴重なものですから肌身離さずでも不思議はありません。
He's probably more cautious now that the fairy took it. The other option would be a guy in white.
そうですね。
The ghost takes the key dangling from its neck and inserts it into the door's
ど
keyhole.
こかに繋がった
So it'll take us back to our world. They had a key that looked and operated similarly to the key of Giannis. I saw it with my own two eyes. That's why I was reminded of him when Tsubaki was telling me about it.
廊下で消えた時もあの鍵を使って逃げてたのかな？
All the classrooms there were sliding doors, so can he still use it without using having a keyhole to put it in?
使えるはずです。ただ、私が追った時もそうですが、相当な早技だと思いますが。
Yeah, he has to insert the key, turn it, open the door that appears, enter it, and then close it. Seems pretty handy to do in a... seems pretty hard to do in a short period of time unless you're used to it.
もし慣れてるとしたらあの鍵でいつも移動してるくらい頻繁に使ってる人？
I don't know how much the principal uses it, but I can see that the guy in white using it. But I can't see that guy in white using it a lot.
ミッチーの財布届けるのもあれできたくらいだもんね。
It's definitely suspicious, but I still can't figure out what the culprit's trying to do.
今朝部屋からいなくなった人も村雲先輩たちとは特に関係ない人だよね。
強いて言うなら、全員が私たちと同じ東寮の人間ということくらいですか。
Really,
ねえ、西寮の生徒は誰も被害者になっていません。
Do you think that the two dorms are related to this whole thing?
なんとも言えませんね。もともと西寮は東より生徒が少ないですし、数の違いで東に集中している可能性もあります。
無差別に襲ってたら単純に人の多い東寮の生徒ばっかりになっちゃったってこと？
ですが、部屋から連れ去ったとなると無差別ではない気がします。
Yeah, using that key and choosing a room at random to enter would be too risky.
同意です。ここまで痕跡を残していない犯人のやることにしては大雑把すぎます。
適当に指定した部屋がミッチーの部屋でしたとかありえるもんね。
Even if it weren't mine, there are a bunch of people on the disciplinary committee who could easily handle someone suddenly appearing in their room. Knowing the dangers of ending up in the room with someone like that would attract attention. Seems like he's acting while knowing who's living in which room. Well, strikes me as odd that he'd so openly changed the way he's doing things. Up until now, he's been moving during times and places where there are fewer people, which made catching him trickier. You weren't able to tell that he was using the key of Giannis before. Now that he's doing something that's normally impossible.
犯人の方も焦ってるのかな？
警備の隙をついて見つからず犯行を繰り返す手段がなくなったということでしょう。それから連日の騒ぎで一人きりになる生徒が減ったということも考えられます。
I guess the disciplinary committees and patrolling these several days have had some effect at least. It's great that our efforts haven't completely gone to waste, but it still hurts that we haven't produced any real results. We lose track of time as we're talking and the sun's already set. The bell of the clock tower up above chimes. It's already night. Our conversation is interrupted by the arrival of night, and for several minutes, each of us is deep in thought. A reserved knock breaks the silence in the room. The door opens and Tsubaki pops her head in.
失礼する。
あ、ミブ先輩。
And something has happened. Her usual depressed expression gives me a bad feeling. Unusually depressed expression gives me a bad feeling. But it appears when she shakes her head in response to my question.
事件ではないんだが。
どうしたのです？
She sighs
少
dejectedly.
し、話を聞いてくれないだろうか。
特差分室で扱うような。
すまない。
Muko looks at Tsubaki curiously as she apologizes. Take a seat, Tsubaki. We'll hear you out.
いいのか？
We'll do it as friends. Doesn't matter. Then it doesn't matter if it's related to what the bureau normally does, right? She nods over and over again, looking relieved, and sits down on the guest sofa. So what's up?
村雲がな。やめてしまった。
Resigned. Came out of left field, and for a moment I have no idea what she's talking
風
about.
紀委員を辞任したんだ。
Resigned from the disciplinary committee. Why would he do such a thing when we were all so busy? So proud of being a member of it. Why did he send
それが真っ先に事件に遭遇したのに役に立てないからと書き置きを残して。
だってそんな記憶がないのは村雲先輩のせいじゃ。
ああ、もちろんだ。私もそんな風に思ったことなど一度もない。他の風紀委員もそう言って止めたが、自分の気が済まないと言って引き止めきれなかったそうだ。彼が思い詰めているのは私も感じてはいたのだが。
She says that somewhat in a tone of
村
self-deprecation.
雲とはうまくやれていると思っていたんだが、私では力不足だったようだ。
So that's why she's so depressed. May not get along well with him, but they've been working together for a
ム
while.
さんが自分を責める必要はないでしょう。
そうですよ。残念ですけど、ミブ先輩のせいでもないわけだし。
すまない。愚痴を聞かせてしまって。
You haven't done anything you need to apologize for, Tsubaki. You have done anything you need to apologize for. Tsubaki, what do you want to do?
わからない。ただパートナーとして村雲に何かをしてやりたかったのかもしれない。
Couldn't you maybe persuade him to rejoin once this whole mystery is
素
resolved?
直に戻ってきてくれるだろうか。
来ない気もしますね。
All you have to do is keep bugging him and tell him about it until he says yes, so you get off his case.
そんなのでなんとかなるの？
ありがとう。なんだか少し気が晴れたよ。
That's good. Try not to worry too much about it, okay? Nodding, she takes a deep breath and straightens her back as if to recompose herself.
ちゃんと報告もあるんだ。風紀委員の見回りは強化されたよ。寮と学園との登下校時にも護衛がつくことになった。
そうですか。
ああ、個人個人の部屋にまで警護をつける人ではないが、寮内も念のため見回ることになった。部屋にまで侵入してくるやつを相手にどれだけ効果があるかはわからないが。
いえ、被害が出る恐れを極力排除するのは無駄なことではないでしょう。
そのつもりで。
よろしくお願いします。そういった方面は風紀委員会が頼りですから。
ああ、任せてくれ。それじゃ。
She leaves the office after forcing a smile on her face.
やっぱり落ち込んでるみたいだね。
Brock was such an idiot, there wasn't any need for him to quit. Was brooding over it, but I never expected this to happen. How else is supposed to help? He just hopes he doesn't go. I just hope he doesn't go on a rampage. Anyways, if he wants to catch a culprit or has an idea in mind, it'd obviously be better if he stayed on the
村
disciplinary.
雲くんも彼の考えがあって一人で行動することを選んだのでしょう。
She interrupts me and says that calmly. How would he do that? It'd be more effective to work as a team.
それは相手によります。
Is that supposed to be sarcasm? Feeling that it was. He sounded like she was bashing my opinion rather than agreeing with Murakumo's
何が
actions.
です？
She answered with her own question as if the matter doesn't concern her in the least. For the record, neither of us have made any progress on the current case.
誰に責任があるのかなどという話はしていません。
Well, it sure sounded like you were insinuating something when you said that it depended on who you're working with.
一人で行動した方が効率的な場合もあるというだけです。
So basically, you're saying that you prefer it if Umaru and I weren't around, right?
ちょっと二人とも。
Umaru nervously interrupts as our conversation heats up. Do you think that you can do everything by yourself?
そちらこそ何でも慣れ合いたがるのはやめてください。
やめてよ。揉めてる場合じゃないだろ。まだ目が覚めない人だっているんだよ。
He grabs my arm as I'm about to walk up to Muko and scolds us. Yeah, my bad. He's right. We've got better things to do.
それを忘れていたわけではありません。
Can't you be honest with yourself for once? Even when I'm reflecting here, she just has to fucking generate bad blood.
事実を言っただけです。
I have no idea why she's so displeased. Her face remains as expressionless as ever.
だから。
Oh, what was that? As they're about to start another argument, Furuya bursts into the room and smashes the atmosphere to smithereens.
風呂山地さん。
Muko is also taken aback by Furuya's panicking, and her voice loses its aggressive edge. Practically tripping as she runs up to us, she waves her arms in the air as she desperately calls for help. Calm down, what are you talking about?
廊下が飛んでる？
Having discerned that listening to Furuya go on and on about feathers is pointless, Muko heads for the door.
わかりましたから案内してください。
She immediately takes Muko's hand and exits the room. Wait up!
なんなの一体！
Omuro and I leave the office as well, thoroughly confused. As we're running after Furuya down the hallway, I can hear someone screaming in the distance. What's happened? What?
焼肉焼肉焼肉。
What the fuck? Arriving at the scene, we see Eva yelling, her fists tightly clenched. Beside her is Hina, watching her completely dumbfounded.
これは
The sight caused her to become lost for words mid-sentence.
好きだー。あのエンジン音がたまらんのだ。
ティラミスティラミスティラミス。
ああ、愛しい俺のマミタン。愛してるぞ。
Eva's the only one who's screaming out random things at the top of her lungs. What in the world?
これ何事ですか？
Have you noticed as Hina mutters to
どう
us?
しましょう。
I can't think of anything else to say either. But it's not like we can pretend that nothing's happening. For starters, we walk up to Eva.
焼肉カルビダッシュチョロース。
Eva? Tap her shoulder from behind.
落ち着きました？
She suddenly stops yelling and stares at us blankly. On the nape of her neck, there's some white swaying back and forth. A feather. The snow white feather turns grey shortly after Eva regains her senses.
それが羽？
そうそう、あれがいっぱい飛んでたの。
Furia flails her arms to represent feathers flying every which way.
羽？私
大丈夫？
多分。
And she says that she passed the back of her neck where the feather is stuck to her.
何これ？
痛い？
全然。
She tries to pull it out, but it slips free from her fingers.
どうしよう、抜けないみたい。
正体がわかりませんからうかつに触らない方が。
そうか、そうだね。
She rushes to put down the hand that touched it. When were you hit by it?
よくわからないな。確かさっき羽がいっぱい飛んでた気がするけど。
気がついたらクミちゃんに刺さっていました。
Should probably do that finally. It pisses me off when it keeps flickering out on and off. Hina nods in agreement with Iba. What was that all? What was that all about? What was all that What was all that about barbecue?
わからないんだけど、突然好きなものを叫びたくなった。
焼肉はクミちゃんの大好物です。
If you say so, you can clearly tell that she genuinely loves it.
ああ、さっき他にも内緒にしてたけど田中くんが好きって叫んでた人もいたな。ブラックバスが好きだーって言ってる人もいました。
Then over in the fucking corner is just like, I love titties! What the hell? All sorts of things being yelled out, but why is everyone doing this sort of weird cult thing?
なんだったのかな。そういえば飛んでた羽は消えちゃってるし。
その羽が飛んできてからみんな叫び出したんですか？
多分そうです。ひなも見ていました。羽が来てからおかしくなりました。
ひなさんは叫んでなかったですね。
別に叫びたくなりませんでした。私もみんな叫び出したからびっくりして徳佐さん呼びに行ったんだよ。
伊庭さんのように羽が刺さった人だけがそうなったようですね。
Is it a mess?
おそらく。
No, I can't think of anything else that would make something as ludicrous as this happen. It's terrible. We already have our hands full with the fainting incidents.
本当騒ぎ
Omoto quickly explains what's been happening to the puzzled Furuya.
羽は見当たりませんね。
Muko says that as she surveys the area, that we're gone by the time we got here. Did they vanish?
全部誰かに刺さったのかもしれません。
That would be the worst. That's no problem if they just yell out their favorite food. For some people, what they say could potentially ruin their lives.
もう少し調べますので、伊庭さんはその羽をあまり触らず、異常があったらすぐ知らせてください。
Iba nods, as does Hina, who's standing beside her.
わかった。他の刺さった子にも言っとくよ。
お願いします。
けど突然好きなもの叫びたくなるミストって何なんだろう。
A ridiculous one, that's for sure. Let's go Escalating. Without saying anything in response, Buko starts walking. She's still thinking about our argument from before. Well, it's not like I've forgotten about it either. The 3 Night World students have classes, so we leave and return to the basement.
今日は何の騒ぎ？
Seeing the difficult expression on her face as Rito tilts her head. We've been coming to her every day lately with difficult questions after all.
ミストと思われるものが出現しました。
Who gives a quick summary of what we witnessed?
羽。
After listening to her with great interest, Rito mutters that aloud. She stares off into space, but it's nothing that we haven't seen before. Her face says that something comes to mind.
白い羽です。被害者の一人の首筋に刺さっているのは見ました。最初は真っ白でしたが、被害者が我に返ると少し色が暗く。
好きなものを叫びたくなったと言ってたのね。
そうです。何か心当たりはありますか？
Rito nods in response. She has an idea as to what it is.
コルース・アルブス。白い羽の刺さった相手にどんな質問でも3つだけ強制的に答えさせる力を持ったミストがあるわ。
Isn't Corvus Albus literally just white feathers in Latin? Hold on, actually, let me grab this instead. Corvus Albus. No, that's a pied crow. The actual, like, scientific name for a pied crow. African bird. Roughly just white raven or white crow.
コルース・アルブスですか。
Any question?
それで焼肉？
I was the guy who shouted out someone's name too, so the question was probably what is your favorite thing?
ああ、それなら人だったり好物だったりしそうだね。
3つだけ強制的に答えさせるということは、刺さった羽は3つの質問が終わるまで抜けないのですか？
She looks up to the ceiling as if she remembers of trying to recall this information.
絶対に抜けないわ。でも蓋を閉じると目には見えなくなるはずよ。
蓋とはミストの特徴を詳しくお願いします。
Looking back at Muko, she nods.
コルース・アルブスの本体は羽ではなく小さな木箱なの。羽はその木箱に入っていて、箱の蓋を開くと現れるのよ。羽が刺さった人は本体を持っている人物の質問に強制的に答えてしまうの。もちろん嘘はつけないわ。そして質問を重ねるごとに白い羽は暗い色になっていって、
Sounds like another pain in the
羽が
ass.
消滅した後にもう一度新しい羽を刺して質問をすることは可能ですか？
いいえ。一度羽が刺さった人にはもう二度と刺さらないわ。
質問する人物が変わってもですか？
ええ。箱の持ち手が変わっても質問の回数は継続する。
伊庭先輩の羽刺さったままだったし、まだ黒じゃなかったよね。
Yeah, and it didn't seem like anyone else was yelling out anything beside what their favorite thing
ミス
was.
ト使った人はなんでそんなことしたんだろ
羽が刺さった人物に一貫性は見られない。そこまで人数が多くいる場所でもない。無差別に狙ったと考えるよりは、やはりコントロールしきれていない可能性が高いように思えます。
Did it let it go out of control on purpose? Nope, that's not the correct one. Is he already unconscious because of the compensation? He's probably already she's probably unconscious right now, which would explain why the feathers are still visible.
う。蓋が閉められないから？
There would be no reason to leave it open if the user were awake. The question was asked the question that was asked is
そ
nonsensical.
っか。じゃあ使った人はどこかで倒れて。あ、
It's probably him. Third victim.
昨日昏倒した3人目の被害者なんですが、
Third year, right? Have you talked to him
ま
yet?
だ意識が戻らないそうです。
He is the only one who's different from the others and hasn't woken up.
その可能性が高いですね。彼だけは昏倒事件の被害者ではなかった。
だったらあの人かなり危ないってことだよね。
He turns pale as a ghost. Chills run up my spine. It's already been more than a day since he collapsed.
リトさん、コルーサ・アルブスが魔力の代用として使用者に求める代償は何ですか？
睡眠。つまり眠ることね。
So if you leave this alone, he'll never wake
え
up.
え。コルース・アルブスは強力なミストよ。魔力の低いものが箱を開くと、それだけで眠ってしまう場合もあるの。
Question that was asked of those picked by the feathers seemed to be quite vague. It's because the user collapsed before he could form a complete
可能
question.
性はあるわね。
前の妖精さんもどんな鍵って指定しなかったらアバウトなことしてたもんね。
Say why the feathers are going out of control now instead of when he fainted. Now instead of when he fainted.
誰に刺さるようにという指示も曖昧なら、混乱して普通でない挙動をすることはあると思うわ。
So it's pretty likely that he collapsed before any proper instructions were given.
急がなければいけませんね。ミストを探さなくては。
It's a wooden box, right,
そ
Rito?
う、木箱。金属のプレートで縁取られていて、大きさは手のひらに乗るくらい。
さほど大きくないのですね。わかりました。ありがとうございました。
Giving our thanks to Rito, we quickly leave the library and go upstairs. I'm gonna end it here though.
セーブメニュー
It
で
is
す。
getting late and I
セ
do
ー
have
ブ
a
しますか？
shift
セーブしま
tomorrow.
した。
So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you next time. Bye bye.